Heine is also play on butt. Are we?
Yeah, I think you're
now. I accidentally said Hyman and I took it all back. I didn't.
Yeah,
I thought I was saying something else.
So this week's name tags are Rebecca's will be Killed Dobby. Dobby Killer.
Name 2. Darius is Orange is the New Black. Tater has to be crispy tater or tan super toasty tater.
I know. I feel like
mom tater.
No,
like,
don't call me pee tater.
Toast,
that's not even what I did as a kid.
Sheyne, you're gonna be not Snape.
What did you call him? A Horderidge?
No.
Hogard.
I'm having a rough
Can
day.
you please make
be
sure
nice
you put an E in that though? H-O.
No.
Hogard.
No.
Don't do like
G-U-A-R-D, like he guards hoes.
Space S-L-G.
Hogard.
S-L-G.
He's the keeper of the hose.
Keeper of the hose. There we go. We found it. Keeper of the hose. That's me. Sheyne
Somebody
Lee.
else can be keeper of the hose.
There you are.
No, you're not.
And I think you need to blow a little harder.
No.
Did you get that motion, Sheyne? Did you just?
She's gonna break her mic.
I ate the mic.
Damn.
Well, now you're the third person here to do that.
Hairball?
My cat's been throwing up all the time now. It's really gross. Just
Yeah, that's one thing I hate about cats is I would randomly find like the hairballs in like the deep corners of the closet.
And they look
Did
like
you ever
poop.
like hear that noise though, like that screeching dying dinosaur?
Mine goes like.
Okay, Charlie. No, I just remember hearing the.
Are you recording these motions? I really want to put sound over this. Chicken head Sheyne.
That's a good start to the show.
This is what, episode 6?
How's everybody? Oh, you drinking alcohol finally, Ashley?
No, it's the same shit.
It's every week.
Should I get White Claws and drink with y'all?
Is that a question?
Sure. I'll make sure to get some for next time.
How's everybody doing today? How's everybody's week's been?
It's been good. Kind of, sort of.
Yeah.
I went to Rhode Island for the weekend.
You did.
Yes.
Oh, that's nice.
And it was nice, and we slept in a barn that was on top of, or part of someone's property, and it was like a renovated barn, but there were lots of spiders.
Did you lay in the hay?
No. But we did talk to the goats.
Oh.
And
You slept in the barn with the animals?
No. So it was above the barn. It was like an apartment above. It was kind of like a garage, and you were above the garage, but then behind it was like the farm. So we could look out the windows and see like the goats and stuff, and the chickens. But
Yeah,
we went and we
sleeping
talked
with
to
the animals is like a good ex-boyfriend joke. It's like,
My boyfriend is still an animal. No, I'm kidding.
Well, Darius is getting married in a barn, so.
Ooh.
Right? Isn't it a barn?
He just said no.
Oh,
I feel like you're getting to the point where he's just gonna kick you out.
No, but
the wedding.
there is a barn at the venue though. They have like a barn option though.
The brownstone?
Yeah, if you look at it, they have a barn option.
Just go down the road and to the left.
They don't have a barn, but they have like this It's not. They have like an outdoor thing, and then like a greenhouse looking.
But it's a renovated barn. Though. I read the history of it. It's actually a barn that they renovated for events.
Well, then you know more about this venue than me. I'm just showing up to my wedding. I don't know why you think otherwise.
I'm trying to figure out how to get there. Shit, I was like,
I'm just showing up.
No longer.
Just go down the road to the left and then get lost.
What?
I just hope I'm still invited to my own wedding. Janine might just be like, I don't need you there.
It's
about
all
me
about
anyway.
her. I hope you know.
Right.
We'll get like one of those cardboard cutouts
I'm gonna get some stuff that I want.
Which is?
I don't know yet, but I'm gonna put my foot down.
The bachelor party.
But get your like gift
I
registry.
want hot dogs.
At least you know you're going to put your foot down at the right moment.
That's it. I'm like, no, I don't want to do this anymore.
Whatever the
I like to want my picture taken at this angle with this lighting. God damn
Listen,
you.
Listen.
I don't want any
my
candles
suit
at this
will be
wedding.
Navy blue, not
You see
dark
that?
blue.
That's a window.
That's a window of the barn,
That's a window.
and these
That's
candles and these centerpieces are going out this window.
Oh no, I'm trying to live after this.
Shane, I would like you to go.
That's gonna be his vows. He's like, "You're just gonna burn me. This day's all about you."
Shane, I would like you to go to his wedding and count every single candle that he has.
Oh, I will.
And just make sure at some point in the ceremony you just point at the candle and you just like point at the window.
Yeah, around the I do part.
Yes.
Yeah.
Or the I object, just stand up and be like, I object to candles.
Shane will
Or
die.
only 254
Yeah, that sounds like a
candles on
really
display.
good
You said
idea.
256.
They'll
Sounds like a good idea. Yeah, I'm gonna do
Kill
that.
him.
I'm really gonna do
Kill him
that.
dead.
Murder?
Not black.
First, make sure it's
Out the
murder.
window?
That's too easy.
Out the window is too easy. What, you're like Superman? You can like just
How was Rebecca's week?
So
see what
I went to
happened.
the liquor store. So
How many times?
just one time, I like limited it, and I didn't go to my grocery store.
Tuesday and Tuesday. You went once?
But she brought a
That's why
shopping
I'm
cart.
like out. No, I just
She's
bought
going
a
to-
bottle of tequila and margarita mixer and a couple beers. I think that was it.
And
Very boring.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm almost out, and so I haven't been drinking much or doing other stuff really. So I don't know. I kicked ass at work this week.
Ooh.
Like I did like a really good job on a presentation, and
Congratulations.
I'm taking tomorrow off so that I can be a piece of shit for a day and get out of my system.
It's
Sounds
like the
about a
clearer
good
the
day.
week is, the fuzzier somehow it feels.
Yes.
Yeah, I plan on like actually making it outside. Like, whoa, crazy. Going for a
Yeah.
walk.
I was thinking about
Calling
going for a
mom.
bike ride.
I don't know how to do that.
I would bike to you guys and visit, but you guys live on Staten Island and all that.
Right.
Yeah, you can't bike
Yeah.
in the water.
I mean,
You can.
I could bike on the boat, and the boat will take me across the water, and then I can keep biking.
Yeah, you can come by ferry. Come by Penguin.
I would love to come by Penguin. Your little mansky.
That sounds like
you're
a really
right.
dirty Danny DeVito joke. Me too.
Okay, who else? Darius?
I think Darius
Tati.
occurred. Tati, how was your week?
It's all right. It was technically spring break, so I didn't have to study.
I love how clear
but,
you are, but we can't see your mouth anymore.
I have to like talk
Eating
it.
the mic.
It's like,
You're like,
So-
the mic is like,
So like
right
I was
here.
saying,
I
because
just,
I
I
have
would,
to make sure I speak right here in order for you guys to hear me. I thought I could speak here, but
Can't like pull it back or whatever.
yeah, pull
No.
it back into her mouth.
Yeah.
because technically it's this way. So
Well,
I
you know
put
what?
it this way so I could speak.
We are a podcast.
true.
Yeah.
We're supposed to be
yeah,
seeing all this.
yes, and,
True.
We should all just do this for like the whole entire time.
We could be like wearing masks. It is COVID.
Stop it, guys. I wanted you to hear me this time.
I would love for you to take a selfie, like right here.
Just
Just
like,
be like selfie.
stop. It
Mic
looks
in
like
front of
your
your
nose
face,
when you do
babe.
that.
Kind of like Sesame Street bitches.
Okay, no, Squidward. Duh.
That too. I just trying to broaden my horizons. Burning it.
Just take
Wait,
it
so
back
spring
to
break?
the day.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's about it. I hadn't studied. That was like the good thing. But now I'm already back to it. Midterms, all that crap. So here I am.
What's the hardest class that you're dealing with?
Sex ed.
Spanish. No.
I can help you.
With which one?
Spanish
Oh.
and sex ed.
Sacapunta.
Dual.
Um,
Vagina.
Oh. Spanish sex ed. I see how you did that.
Can you teach me all of the dirty words?
Wait, don't. Oh, wait.
You know, I think we need to do a segment where Beks teaches us all of the sex ed Spanish
No, you know what
words.
she needs to do? She needs to take a word that sounds nasty with a word that is nasty and let us guess which one is actually a nasty word.
Ooh, I like that
saca
game.
punta
That's
versus
good homework.
punta. I mean, obviously we know
Or
puta.
puta.
Puta, that's punta,
Yeah.
punta,
That means
puta.
boot. So if you go to start, just
There
like,
you
"Dame
go.
la puta, por favor."
No, I don't think that's...
See? There you go. I wouldn't have known.
I can't play this game because I'm going to laugh every time she
Puta
says
in
it.
size 9.
I think that's the point. To
That's
laugh.
pretty funny. Punta and size 9.
I think I'm gonna
please.
tell which
What
one
is
is
it?
the
What is
bad
it?
word because when she says it.
Bex said it. Repeat what you said, Bex.
Puta in size 9, please. I really want a puta about this big. I like my putas loose so that I can walk a really long time.
A loose puta is a good puta.
Yeah,
Yes.
you gotta let that shit breathe.
Oh,
Can't
I
mess around
needed
with good
this.
stuff.
All right, and
No.
with that, Shane, how was your week?
My week was fine. Today's a little weird. Today is the 20th anniversary, as most of you probably saw on Facebook or Instagram, of my mother's passing. Which I was 20 when she passed, and now I'm 40, so literally like half my life without her, and it's hard. It's rough. It's weird. I took a walk today around she passed at 5:04 p.m. and took a walk, and it was kind of. I don't really ever feel like she's around. Like, you know, I know different people have different beliefs. I don't even know exactly what my beliefs are, but like, you want to believe that your loved ones are with you and watching over you and proud of you, and I just don't ever really feel it much. But it was weird, and this is just completely random. I was sitting on a New York City bench, so they're everywhere. But at the exact time that she passed, I just kind of sitting there reflecting. She loves spiders, and a spider just starts crawling on my hand. So that was nice. So I choose to believe that was her and a sign. It's hard. It's weird. It's weird. So I'm just glad I'm glad today's the day that we have the podcast. 'Cause it's very therapeutic and very good for my mental and emotional well-being. But you know, I miss her. I miss her a lot, and it's just and it's also weird because it's the second anniversary of my father's death, which you would think that's beautiful and cosmic, but it's not because they weren't speaking, and that's a long story in itself that I'm not going to get into. But just kind of weird that it happened on the same day, like 2 hours apart, 18 years and like 2 hours apart. But
That's very weird.
yeah, very weird. So, but I mean, I didn't know him, so I don't really mourn him. I respect the passing of it because of my siblings who did know him and some who were very close to him.
Mm-hmm.
But my mother, like, you know, she raised me by herself, and it's just very it's weird. It's 20 years. 20 years is a long time. It feels different than other, you know, anniversaries.
Other years.
But I'm the morbid fuck that has it in his calendar. I counted the days when will be one day longer she's been gone than I knew her, and that's in January. So I'll probably be more of an emotional cluster of tears when that happens, because that's I don't know. I think about things in a weird way like that. So, you know, I miss her, but she's not suffering. It's just, you know, it's what it is. But I'm glad I'm with all of you beautiful people today, and we can
I want to
we can get those laughs in.
Virtual hug.
Thank you.
We'll try to make fun of you more than ever this episode.
Is that possible?
apples?
Is that possible?
It could very much be.
Dara's like, good. No one will make fun of me this week.
I was gonna say.
What about
Like
the
it's working.
donuts?
He's not bringing the
I told
donuts
you,
back.
Donuts not coming back. They're gone.
I'm very disappointed.
I think it's because we said too many good things about the donuts. That's why he like threw it out afterwards.
You know
I threw it
what?
out that window.
You know what
Gotta
needs to
fight with your
happen?
brother.
We all need to have donuts next time and just make sure we're eating them in front of him,
That's a good
and
idea.
then maybe that'll like fuel some desire to bring.
That's not
like
donuts.
Tabasco sauce.
Like that.
Close enough. Wait, I got this.
I have to say though, I do love some Tabasco sauce.
Oh, you and I
Let's do it
both.
for you instead.
Who's that?
Devil pinup.
Ooh.
Yeah,
Not me.
Devil pinup.
Yeah, I saw it online. I thought it was cool.
Pretty hot.
I'm gonna scare my mother on that topic. Sorry.
Well, when we can finally all be together in a room, we will have donuts for the four of us, and Darius will not be allowed to partake.
Mm-hmm.
Ever.
I'll bring
Yeah.
my own donuts.
You ain't gonna know when we're gonna do it.
Yeah, you ain't
I'll
gonna
bring
bring
donuts
shit.
every week, and this
Now
is
he's
how
gonna
you guys
act
get.
like
You'll get the
Guess
munchkins.
what?
We'll get the donuts. You'll get a
Ooh.
Cinnabon. Actually,
Oh.
they're better.
I like
Actually.
that.
They're better.
I think that I won that.
Are we going down the road of desserts? Because then I can bring like carrot cake and cheesecake and cake.
If you bring a carrot cake, you're not going to like where it ends up.
Why?
In my stomach.
It's blasphemous. It's like putting raisins in cookies.
What?
It's just
It's
blasphemous.
amazing.
Oatmeal cookies is
Yeah,
that
oatmeal
is
raisin
that
cookies.
is
There's some
law.
good ones out
That's
there.
what you're supposed to do.
No.
You no.
Yes.
No.
Am I alone on this?
Wait.
Where does carrot cake end up?
On the floor.
I
What?
don't know where we ended up, but I
I don't know if I would have asked to
this.
be a groomsman if I knew.
I thought it was like
they
some
had,
butt
oatmeal
stuff.
raisins.
Yeah, I thought it was butt stuff too.
Like the corn comes out.
I don't want to be in your stupid wedding anyway.
We went from donuts to cake, and apparently Shane is a cake.
I love
hater.
all the shit I've said. That's what got me kicked out of the wedding. Fine, I'm
Carrot cake
alone.
is the shit, man.
The cheese stands alone.
Tiramisu.
I love tiramisu.
I can't have that.
That's really good too.
Have any
I
of
want
you?
to try to
Continue
make one, so I
discussing
can try to make
desserts.
one.
I make cheesecake.
I have
And-
to take this call.
I eat cheesecake.
All right, well, you go ahead. Just mute yourself. We're gonna talk
Oh, Rebecca.
so much shit about you.
I
Oh,
ran
Beks is
out of
frozen.
Keep the camera on though. No, okay, fine.
Oh. Are we losing
Never-
everyone?
my recording.
No,
thing
we're
stopped.
recording. We're recording,
Shane,
No,
my recording
she's
thing
not-
stopped. So you're good?
Yeah.
and you're frozen.
Beks is frozen.
Yeah, you're frozen.
Yeah, I'm good. I'm still recording.
Ew, I almost dabbed, but I don't know how. Wait. There. Is that different?
No, stop your camera and restart it.
It's not.
All right, go back.
It's those Tuesday tech issues.
Fucking I'm right by the Wi-Fi. I'm gonna hang up and come back.
No.
Oh, we lost
Shane,
her.
you should stop recording at this point.
No, it's fine. I'll just rearrange it when they come back. So wait, so you guys like raisins in your cookies and shit?
Why
Not
not? I don't.
necessarily.
I
Oh,
don't
welcome
discriminate against raisins in cookies.
Yeah, we see you. Can you hear
Can we
us?
hear you?
I just don't like chocolate.
You don't like
Chocolate?
I don't
chocolate?
like chocolate that much.
No,
but
I
like
just-
Oh
sexy
no!
chocolate.
Wait, we're done.
I-
We're done.
I don't like chocolate anything. So like chocolate cake, chocolate chip, chocolate cookies, chocolate drizzle, chocolate ice cream, red velvet, like nothing.
Red velvet is stupid.
Brown-
Red velvet.
Nothing.
What is
I love
drizzle?
red velvet. Drizzle.
Like, you know, like you do like
When it's-
little lines or something, and it's like mostly vanilla, and then it has like lines of chocolate. You know.
Shane and I do
Chocolate
lines all the
sprinkles.
time.
A little drizzle here and there.
Is that why Darius is on the phone? Because he's talking about all the chocolate that you need?
He's talking
He's
to
probably talking about how upset he is because you said you don't like chocolate.
CPS to take my
That has
cats away.
nothing. Wait, what?
What?
He's
What about
talking to
CPS?
CPS to take my cats away because too many fake drugs. Too
He's
much
on the
chocolate.
phone with a comedy writer to try to find out funny things to say at the end. And we go, maybe next week.
Maybe
Yeah, or
next
he's
week
talking to a
Darius will
coach,
have
like-
some lines.
How do I get them to let me talk the entire show? I've been trying to, but then I realize it's all in my head and my mouth isn't moving.
Look how
How do I
ser-
take the next step?
look how serious he is right now. His brow is furled. He's like,
He's
hmm.
like,
Oh, yeah.
I'm going to cut you.
Everybody do their best
Yeah.
Darius face right now.
Yeah, it seems serious,
Put-
especially
put
when
the phone- put the
you know,
phone-
furrow my brow.
Yeah, I might actually be serious. I don't know. Yeah, it looks legit.
He always has that serious look though on his face. That's the thing.
He does. I think it's
He's
his
thinking really
resting
hard.
face.
You're like, what do you want from the store?
In the back of his head, he's probably like, "What are these
I don't know
assholes
if I
talking
want
about?"
chips
I imagine
or
I
what.
said chicken and broccoli. God damn it.
Not organic chicken, the real
See,
chicken.
it's probably
damn
about
it.
the centerpieces with the
Ranch.
candles in it. They're probably like, "What kind of candles would you like?" He's like, "You know what? No.
He's just like, why are we?
Nah,
picking
I don't want candles. No. Oh man, I really don't want candles. Shit.
Yeah.
I think Janine wants candles.
He's putting his foot down.
Yeah, but,
He's putting his foot down.
Can I put my foot down though, honey? Please. Oh, maybe. No, I would like to.
Rash.
It's like I was just talking to Shane about it, and I just don't think that I want Shane in the wedding anymore. But I think we'd be fine without.
How do we get the white guy out of the wedding? I don't know. Is that reverse racism? I don't know. I think we can get away with it. Yeah, I really don't want him in this wedding. He's not going to fit in the tux anyway. He's fat. He's seen him after COVID.
Darius wouldn't say that.
No, he's too nice. We used to joke on him on
not
set.
Even the mean version of Darius would say that.
We used to joke about him on set. We're like, we know this guy behind closed doors has like an evil alter ego because he's just, no one is this nice.
Yes, I talk to nicer people. Expect him to be upset, but it's just not there. Like he'll just be really quiet, and then he'll just say some like deep.
Oh, wait, he's smiling. He's smiling.
It's like, why can't you be mean, Darius?
All right, I gotta go. All right, everybody talk like you're not talking about Darius.
Okay, so I
told the podiatrist, cut off my big toe. I don't need it.
I agree because you can put that in a jar and keep it in formaldehyde.
Yeah, and it's like the tea tree oil is helping with the fungus, but it's just not enough. Like.
If you get maggots, if you put maggots on the wound, they'll clean the dead tissue. Just brush them off before the flies come out, and then you're good to go.
You won't become a zombie, I promise.
I started composting so that it wouldn't
and then I
be
come
so
back
bad.
and I'm never able to follow what the train. We were talking about desserts and tiramisu, and now we're talking about toes and formaldehyde.
Well, it's what happens when you eat too much sugar. Darius, think about it. Darius, you need to start thinking a little bit more in this podcast because it's what happens when you get diabetes and her toes all fell off.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Oh my God.
I didn't know if you guys want the subway, if you guys want the LIRR. I was like, the space in between these stops is just...
You're like, I feel like New Jersey Transit when Amtrak gets to go ahead of us. It's bullshit.
Don't get me started.
Is that a serious phone call? Is that about the centerpieces and the candles?
No, it's church stuff. Being a deacon, sometimes you got to deal with.
Oh.
So you just vote on who to excommunicate?
I will never do that.
I'm not pointing. I'm just pointing down because Shane is underneath me, so I'm gonna say this guy. That one.
Yeah.
See, here's the thing. I'm recording it, and you're beneath me, so fuck you.
Yeah, he's to my right.
Fuck you.
It also looks funny because since you're underneath me, you're...
Tati, give me a high five with your right hand. Boom!
Oh.
Boom!
The other
one, two, wait, again, 1, 2.
The other
boom. Wait, Tati, do it with both so you can get Darius. 1, 2, 3, boom! Boom! Yo,
I'm not on
the coordination. Darius, go like this.
Tati is between me and me.
Oh, I'm all the
now
way
he just hit Rebecca.
No, you're between me and Shane.
He forgot her name.
Tati's in that sandwich right now.
Damn.
So this is...
I'm touching your cat ears.
This is how... Wait, no. You can't see it.
Wait. Shane, where am I? So I'm...
From your angle, Rebecca.
Shane, why don't you just send this to us?
No.
I'm trying to show y'all.
Picture
You see?
and send it to us.
Can you see yourselves?
No. I didn't mean it.
Wait, so me and Beks are next to each other.
Yeah, you guys are on the bottom this week.
No, I'm on top.
This week,
This
week, Beks and Ash are bottoms, and this week, Tati, Darius, and I are tops.
Yeah, at least I
I'm
can
only
lay
okay
back.
if I'm a power. I want to be a power bottom.
You are, because you're under Darius.
Yeah, you are. Yeah. There's only 2 of you on the bottom, so
The
you have
legend.
to be.
So we have some news updates. I guess maybe it's a new segment. The follow-ups on stuff we've talked about before.
News. Okay, you should do that sound where they In latest news, the Chauvin trial.
Alright.
Tati, did you want to give us an update about the trial?
Well, I did actually read the updates from it's now about 9 hours ago, where they were just talking about different people that have testified. So far it seems like there is a majority of people that are testifying against Chauvin. Is that how you say his name?
Chauvin. Yeah, Chauvin. Chauvin.
Trash.
Trash.
Trash. Let's go with that.
Trashing.
Okay. So they're all pretty much saying the same thing, that he used excessive force. The only thing that I found a little concerning was that it wasn't as definitive when it was the, I think, examiner that was saying it. He was the one that left a little, I guess, opening for it. Could have been the drugs, but he even suggested that the neck, the knee in the neck, is a big reason why.
Was that person today?
I think that was either today or yesterday.
I think that was today. It was like, yeah.
I know in earlier statements they were mentioning that they were kind of trying to blame the crowd for Chauvin's actions, saying that basically as a result of having so many people who were hostile and watching the situation, it prevented him from providing aid and prevented him from taking his knee off his neck. So the question was it a violation of policy, or was he actually doing what he was trained to do? And I just think that's...
I mean, so far...
would be wrong, but...
I get that bystanders kind of like amp up the situation. There's a lot going on at once. But like, you're also a police officer.
Begging for his life, and I mean, his knee was on his neck at some point. I know they said on the body cam that they saw that Chauvin's knee was on his shoulders, on George Floyd's shoulder at one point, but obviously from the video you see
very
that it was
early
on,
and then it goes
point.
down.
Yeah.
So it's at any point, even if there was a moment that he was on his shoulders, he was definitely on his neck.
And he was no longer a threat at that point. Like, the crowd could have been a threat, but
they were trying to say that George Floyd was aggressive in the beginning, but then towards the end, once they pinned him on his stomach, that was the time that they should have stopped using force, because
they should have pinned him and got him in a car,
handcuffed him, and then moved on.
They had him in
They said they're
cuffs
supposed to actually like turn him over to his side to make sure that he didn't asphyxiate himself.
Right. I've actually seen that in books that like I've studied in college, and like you are supposed to turn a person over, because if you leave them laying down too long, like they could asphyxiate.
Because they can't, if you're like this, your entire body weight, and you can't push yourself up. That's when you cease to become a threat. That's when you cease. That's what the cops should have absolutely no fear of what's happening to them at that point, from the standpoint of the suspect. And like the cop who's been a Minneapolis police officer longer than anyone else in the force said, no excuse. He sees no reason why the cops should have been afraid for their well-being. No reason why he should have been on that ground for 9, almost 10 minutes. No reason why there should have been a knee in the neck. Nothing. You know, the chief who fired them, same thing, said it. Today you had a guy, I think it was the person you were talking about, Tati. He was like, well, you know, usually I say if someone can say I can't breathe, that means they can breathe. Not quite that simple. Not quite that simple. And yes, I can say it as a layman's, and he's an expert, quote unquote, but...
I think the EMT, or emergency response person from the medical side,
examiner,
I'm messing that up so bad. But she was saying, if someone saying that they can't breathe doesn't necessarily mean they can breathe. You know, you can vocalize that you are having a problem medically, and still, not be able to breathe fully. So
it doesn't mean that
that's
you
just
have
a moot
enough breath
point
to sustain you. Yeah. Like, you could have breath in the moment and then just it be gone the next moment.
Not enough breath, not enough oxygen.
The thing that drives me wild is the fact that I just find this to be such an open and shut case, and I don't understand why it seems like we're walking on eggshells with not knowing what's going to happen.
Right, because it's a high profile case, which is why they're taking their time. They want to make sure that they're looking at everything, because no matter which side, wins the case,
I just think the moment
there's going to be something that happens.
I just think the moment that you say that someone who's a trained professional who's supposed to be doing something like this, and this is his career, his life of de-escalating, dealing with the public, doing these kind of things, and going through all that, and then you have a bunch of people who are his higher ups or whatever saying, no, this isn't something that is something we authorize. This is something that we don't clear, that you're not supposed to use those types of moves. And that it turned into this whole other thing where it's like, well, maybe there might be a reason why. No, it wasn't a trained thing. They say that they actually don't approve of that. Why are we discussing whether or not it was valid?
But I don't know. I don't know if they don't approve of it, and maybe that's just.
Or if they're just saying so.
Right, they're just saying that to absolve themselves. You know what I mean?
Because
maybe it's not trained, but
well,
maybe it's standard practice.
Yeah,
I understand that if it's something that's deeper than Chauvin, but for Chauvin's case, if they're saying that it's not, then I feel like for his case specifically, this should be over. He needs to go and be convicted of whatever he did. Because
I think that's also why they're taking their time, because it's definitely something that is probably more standard practice than like we approve, we don't approve. And I don't know about you, but I've seen it in other situations where cops are asked to do things outside of their job description in order to protect the public. So when is it too much? And when do we put down and say that it's too much? And we're in this situation where a court has to say, was this too much or was it not?
Well, one thing I'll say is that one, it's the whole due process that everyone's entitled to. The thing is that cops always get the very best due process. And if it was George Floyd and the roles were reversed, it would be pretty open and shut.
Open and shut.
Exactly.
Unless he was a cop.
That's what I'm saying. If it was George Floyd, yeah, exactly, yeah. And so the cops are all going to get the due process. It's not going to be as widely publicized with the other cops because the other three are going to have a joint trial. That's not going to be as closely watched, I'm sure, because obviously they're not the ones who physically killed him. They just were accomplices. But that will depend on what happens with the verdict here.
Yeah,
but also,
I think if the verdict goes sideways, then there'll be a lot more attention on the second trial.
No, you're right about that, right. Definitely. And I will say also that what I find, because when you said, Ashley, about how like the things that cops are expected to and asked of to do that are outside the realm of their training. Every single time the defense tries to go, like, you're a martial arts expert. Well, actually, I'm not. My notes say, you've used this before in a situation like that. No, this is what happened. Oh, wait, my notes. All their arguments are trying to make it seem like, this is probably a pretty standard practice that's widely accepted, keep falling apart with their witnesses. So they're just turning to the whole thing of, like, was his drug addiction, was what he was going. Clearly he was high in the story. You watch that video, he was high as a kite. That's no excuse to kill somebody. That's no excuse to pin somebody. It is a disease that people don't understand, and they don't want to understand because it's easy to lock people up as a result and make money off people's addictions. I digress. First one of the day. And so, he was high, but that's what they're going to turn. That's what they keep trying to do, is turn it back around on him, because the whole argument keeps falling apart that maybe this was something that is pretty standard, that is expected of the police, and it keeps falling apart with every single witness. And I find it absolutely hilarious because the defense looks absolutely clueless, and they're grasping at straws, and that's what makes it so much worse. That I fully expect them to be the victors in this. And I hate that.
At some point, I know they said something about, we know it looks bad when force is applied, but that doesn't mean it is bad. Really? Is that really your argument?
And I understand needing to know when, judge and jury deciding, what's the limit, what's too far, what's, just far enough. But, I mean, I thought we would all agree that this is too far.
It's too far.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. That's why I believe that this should be something that shouldn't be so difficult. And I'm sorry that it may sound that I don't want them to go through all this, but it's just it just infuriates me that they'll bring up his drug abuse. He was fine before they had him. He didn't have a medical emergency, and if he did, those policemen are supposed to be trained to get medical responses out there. There are.
But again, that was the crowd's fault.
Yeah, I mean, bullshit. But I don't think he called for them. I mean, is there any proof that he did?
And cops have
I don't think that he did.
Cops take training to render initial first response before ambulances get there. And they did not render that support. None of the four of them rendered that support. And the argument for the other three is that and this is the case, and it's a bullshit case and needs to change, the kowtowing to the senior officer on site. They always follow, they stand behind the blue wall of silence because they don't want to be the ones to rock the institution. Yeah. And so Chauvin didn't initiate, and so the other three fell in line. And that's part of the systemic problem of policing in general. And of course, they're going to blame it on the crowd or blame it on traffic, but he had no problem standing what could have been in traffic for 10 fucking minutes, or kneeling for 10 minutes in traffic. And
I'm
they
sure
kept
a bunch of
everybody
them
at
didn't
bay.
expect it to turn out that way. They
Yeah.
probably have done fucked up shit like that all of the
Right.
time.
I feel like
yeah.
everyone
I feel like
has.
they have. They have. Go ahead, Ashley.
That everyone, as in every cop or every person.
Chauvin, that's for
Ashley,
sure.
I was asking.
Oh, what? Say that again?
You said you think everyone has. I thought you were talking about like everyone has done bad stuff.
Oh, I mean, I think depending on what roles you have in life, you know, in your career and everything, I feel like sometimes you do have to make judgment calls. And that's whether, like, for me, I, you know, send a candidate and they possibly are terrible or they're not. And it might ruin my relationship and it might not. But at the flip side, you know, this is obviously a more excessive form of things where someone's life is in danger. But we all have to make judgment calls. And there's split-second decisions sometimes. And I feel like depending on what position you've been in, I feel like we've all done it. Definitely not to this extent. But I think it's something also to keep in mind that, you know, they are doing this in 2.5 seconds, not condoning him in the
But they're not though. They're not though, because the 2.5 seconds was when they took him out of the vehicle, and yeah, he was struggling a bit, but there were two cops against one dude, and yeah, I've seen high rage, I've seen drunk strength. It happens.
And
it's real.
How many
but once they
people getting arrested did not try to struggle while they were getting arrested?
Exactly.
But that's also the other point. It's like you're using excessive force on these other people, or probably not. Like you're just letting them have their moment, and then they calm down, and then you take them away. Everyone's been treated differently. It goes back to this, like what we talked about before, though, the white man with the power mentality.
I think it's when we start seeing how certain criminals that are more dangerous can somehow be apprehended and arrested and still live.
Safely.
Yeah.
And then there's the others.
Nothing happens.
Kyle Rittenhouse.
Yeah, or you know, you shoot up a place and you're fine.
Right.
You somehow walk out alive.
You go into a church, shoot it up, and they take you for Burger King afterwards.
So, I mean, when do,
ridiculous.
like you say, you know, in court, they have to decide when it's too much, but like, how do you ignore that? How do you ignore that there's people with guns that are getting arrested, and then you're seeing someone that didn't have a weapon. Yeah, he was struggling and he's dead. And it's almost like, I can't see where it would be like, well, maybe there was a reason.
I think you wonder why people of color have those huge reactions. Like you're asleep in a Wendy's drive-thru or something, and you might be kind of drunk or something. Try not to drive home. And like I remember seeing the video of the guy who like freaked out, and I think he tried to take a taser from the cop. And
I remember.
And I remember my initial reaction was like, dude, calm down. Like that's probably the worst move you can make, because like they are trigger happy. They can kill you. Then I think if I had to go around every day thinking every time I saw a police officer I might die or get in a situation where they could kill me, even if I did the right thing, I'd probably react badly. So it's like you have all these things piling up. Mm-hmm. I think, Tater, with what you're saying, I totally agree with this idea of like you think it would be this open and shut case, but it sets the precedent. There's like another layer here. If you can put a cop in jail for doing their job badly, then everyone can contest anytime anything happens. Yeah. And I think that's why they're trying to hold so tight onto this and let him get away with it. Because if you do that, then no one's ever going to want to be a police officer. Yeah. Because then if like they kill someone who's robbing a bank, they could say, well, he didn't really have a gun or he didn't do this. Yeah, but it just opens that box. Even though obviously this case is wrong, that is the entire reason why they're not just saying it's wrong.
But that doesn't happen in other countries where they're not doing, where the cops aren't like this in other countries, and they're still cops.
Yeah.
So it's like
the police get in trouble though.
But some countries where they're a little bit more evolved in their sensibility, where cops aren't this violent, don't necessarily react. They're held accountable because they know they will go to jail if they don't hold themselves to a higher standard. And so it's there's this understanding.
I'm just saying America's not there. That's why.
Well, that's true. No, I agree with that. Yeah.
But how do we get
I guess that's why. And I guess that's why I'm so sorry. To Rebecca's point, the reason that I say I think it's okay if everyone contests it, because that's how justice really prevails. Is that each and every case is independent, and it should go through its case. But you know, if someone is saying that a cop is reporting that a cop is using excessive force, and it has to go through that, that's why the body cams are there. That's why their records are there, so that we can see if there's a pattern. But you know, then when I hear that people, like, there's police officers that have like hundreds of complaints, and nothing has been done because no one knows about it, because it's not made
Like
public
Chauvin.
initially.
So I have a question for you.
When do we like, how do we fix that?
So I have a question.
No idea.
Hypothetically, I'm a cop, and again, I'm playing devil's advocate here, but I'm a cop.
All the blue.
Oh yeah, I'm wearing blue too. See, damn. Okay, so okay, so I'm a cop, and I'm, you know, helping Beks out, and she's super pissed off at me because I'm ready to take her car away. She's super drunk and belligerent, and she hates me now because it happened. So now she's gonna make a report, and now there are gonna be 200 like her that continue to make that report. Do you look at the numbers and say, well, wow, Ashley has this really, you know, insane record for stopping people who are drunk. Maybe she's doing something wrong. Or is it the other side of things where people are reporting because they just don't like, you know, being involved with police?
I would say that's where body cams do become very, very important, and the fact that they're allowed to turn them on and off is bullshit. They should always be on. I don't care if you're just sitting in the car having donuts, unlike Darius, but you know, if you're just having, like, they should be on. But like, even still, because anything could happen in a split second, especially like those cops that were killed in Brooklyn when they're just sitting in their squad car. Have the body cam on, so if there's some evidence to protect them, or at least from, you know, like, everyone's protected with that. And so if you
make
have
the
the
process
body cams,
transparent so that it's a separate entity controlling it, or
well, I think
like
internal affairs is bullshit. Internal affairs should not exist with the police department. It should be an independent, standalone investigatory body. Investigative body that is made up of citizens. That's made up of citizens on a rotating election cycle. And they should be the ones who investigate the cops, because if, you know, people, there's a million complaints against cops that are mostly just bullshit and just a pain in the ass, just like the stupid calls of 911. And yeah, something like that. Like, if Ashley's a cop and Rebecca's being belligerent, surprise, surprise, you know, if she's not going to, she's not, you know, maybe she's a pain in the ass, Rebecca, but do you have your hand on your piece at the time? But if it's Darius though, and he gets belligerent, and another cop, you know, who would have reacted peacefully to Rebecca but doesn't react peacefully to Darius, and you review that, well, then there's some legs for it to stand on. Then it's like, how are they? Because cops automatically get more defensive.
It's all variables, though. Yeah. Like, are they doing this?
I have no muscles, so that there's a little bit of a difference there.
It's the variables, like, they go across gender, they go across age, they go across crime too. Like, are they belligerent against people who are always drunk, or are always high, or like to shoot up a lot? Are they
it always means familiarity too. They could be seeing these people all the time.
Right, repeat
imagine how many times seeing someone who's like committing domestic violence, you've had to go to that apartment a zillion times. You're like, fuck this person.
So then does it add up when it's a Spanish person every single time they're going to the store and they're robbing it? So now you're looking at Spanish people all the time. Same thing with blacks, same thing with Chinese. Like,
let's just like nature nurture.
All these situations pile up and affect a person's
ability to do the job.
Yes,
the job is a lot. You can imagine that stress, but of course it's like inexcusable to just like hurt so like they're not a threat anymore. Like, that
where
should
do we
just
come in as a society and say, okay, you've been through a lot of this. Let's take you off and like maybe go get you some treatment. Where do we say
they're supposed to do that? From what I've seen,
but from what I heard,
taking mental health a little more seriously, I think is a good answer to that. When we start acknowledging that affects the productivity and the overall health of a person and how they interact with other people.
Go ahead, Tati, sorry.
I was just going to say something as stressful as that, I would think is important
because at this
to make
point,
sure to check in with them.
I've dated a few cops, and they always tell me, like, if I go to a person and tell them I feel this way about this, they're going to refer me to a therapist, and then that therapist is going to make me lose my job. So therefore, they have no one to talk to.
Yeah.
They can't go home and talk to someone about this.
Is that like an upset person's bias who's not going to see the therapist at all? Or is it someone who's going to see it and then, like, I lost my job before because of a therapist?
Yeah, because I'm like, I don't think a therapist can actually do that unless it's something dangerous. And then in that case, yes, they need to be removed.
No, cops can be forced out. Cops can be forced out. Like, the same way why they follow Chauvin was because it's the blue wall of silence. You fall in line. There's a list of cops in New York's NYPD from several years ago who blew the whistle on other cops, who tried to be the good cop, tried to stand out, tried to help fix the system from within. And all of them got either framed for something, got forced out, got mentally evaluated and let go, like almost like a dishonorable discharge. And they're all gone. Why? Because they didn't fall in line. So it becomes this thing of like, you become a drone. And so the good ones end up falling in line because they're scared to lose their pension. And it's bullshit.
Someone was telling me the other day that I would have been a great cop, and then someone made that exact comment that I would have been by the book, and somebody would have framed me for something to get me off because I wasn't falling in line with the rest of the team. And they're not wrong.
And on top of that...
That's a problem, though, because then we are paying a gang. That's a gang.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, a gang mentality.
Absolutely. And on top of that, they have the God complex mentality where they're given absolute authority over everyone. They're trained to get defensive the second anyone asks a question. With my fair skin, I've asked police, why is this happening? And he's, excuse me, are you talking back to me, sir? Are you talking back to me? And they get in my face. And now imagine how much worse it would have been.
The psychology of that, you know.
That whole system is toxic.
Feeling that way, they feel empowered. Like,
you know, it's
and
funny
that's got to be
they
put
even
in
say
check.
that they train them like that, and they tell them in big groups that they have to remain confident and they have to remain in control of the situation.
But
even one-on-one, they're like
that. There's a fine line between confidence and
then douchebaggery.
Yeah,
but you can imagine what everyday people are like. Like, you're going to get some douchebags, some amazing people, some in between. They're just people. They can only... They're never going to meet the level that we need for perfection.
But I mean, in working with the public, like you and that's what they do, right? You know, they work with the public, and so when working with the public, you get those people. Like I get people when they come into court, they're like, hey, they're pleasant, and my day goes great. Like, hey, you know, this was a pleasant experience talking to you. Sad that it's here in court, but it was pleasant dealing with you. And then you get those people that come in there that like, I'm like, hey, I'm very glad that there's a glass separating us because we will fight now. And so, you know, and I'm not really one to defend the cops either, but if you know, if I'm trained in a certain way and hey, I might start my day, okay, great, cool. But if I have like however many people coming to me after a certain point, that last person, I might not be so patient with them.
Yeah,
exactly.
And I'm not absolving anybody when I say any of that.
Yeah,
but that's also
100% agree with you.
You know,
that's how you are during,
we have to take that into account.
But you also don't hold this person's life in your hands either. Like,
Yeah,
they should be held to a different standard. When you carry that weapon...
are supposedly held to a different standard because they're supposedly...
Oh, they are. It's just not the right standard.
I will say in the medical field, like I worked in a clinic, and one of the things that we learned was de-escalation. And the first thing that you learn is when you meet someone, they're never on a level 1. They're always on a level 2 or higher because they have their own shit going on. So you assume that everyone is at a closer level to freaking out or something. So you always treat them with a little more extra sensitivity. You always treat them with a little more care and compassion because it is my job to connect to them. It is not their job to care that I'm connecting to them.
Right. That speaks to me on so many levels.
Yes, it does.
And Tati, let me ask you...
There's so many people that lose that over time. They just get so tired.
Because you get tired of people coming up to you, like Darius said, you know, with the attitudes and stuff, so you kind of block that. But you always, I think that dealing with the public in any sort of way, whether it's customer service, hospitality, anything.
Customer facing.
Tati, let me ask you a question. In your job, learning about de-escalation, was there a part that specifically dealt with people struggling with addiction? how to de-escalate?
Yeah, I mean, well, there was different types. There were codes that we'd have to call if it escalated to a point that we couldn't handle it on our own, so that we all knew how to prepare for whatever event that was going down. So I don't think there was anything necessarily specifically different that you would have to do to treat them, which could be an issue because I think they have different issues. So you should always speak to someone directly about their issue rather than a general approach. But with any of that, the biggest thing is the sensitivity, knowing that what you say and what you do can either de-escalate the situation where you guys can agree on something, or it can really turn it into something that it didn't have to be.
But
and you're not completely in control of that, being the person that's trying to de-escalate. You're trying to ask for that control from that person who is freaking out or whatever the case is. So it just, these moments are so important, and you're right, they are split-second decisions. But I think when someone is supposed to be as trained as these professionals are that we are asking to protect us, to protect and serve us, mind you, not to do what they're doing to us, then there's a lot of different issues that come up with this. And the fact that we all know this, we're talking about this, and it seems like we all understand that there is something wrong with that institution and the way that they're treating people in our society. And yet there was nothing we can really do about it. We literally just have to live through it.
And the split second, I mean, the split second thing is like, sure, with certain situations, to a certain, that's why we'll always listen to both sides when it's a quick shooting thing with the cops and whatnot. This was nothing like, exactly. And sometimes it's, I still usually feel like they're too trigger happy with things and not trained to de-escalate, and also you can aim for the kneecaps where that other.
But we know they're not trained to
Of course not. Of course not.
They're trained to shoot at the mask.
But those exactly, and those are split second decisions. And oftentimes, though, however, when it's a split second with someone of a fairer skin, the split second has a different result than the person with the darker skin. A split second is Central Park Karen, who is a civilian who let years of her thinking she's an ally go to shit because instinctually she was afraid of a black guy. Instinctually, the cops do the same. We should be held to a different standard to look at everyone to at least handle every situation in a more mature, controlled way that they don't do. They bring their prejudice to it, is what I'm trying to say.
I want to believe that could happen, but I'm so scared because that opens such a big can of worms as how to like.
You can't fix how people's minds work or how they're
and how we've been trained to. We've been trained to be like that.
They policed where they lived.
I think.
You know what I mean? So, and I know that there's
scary.
a for that. It would be scary, but as a cop, it's way different if I'm driving from one side of town all the way to another to police an area that I don't have to stay.
Be a little more careful about how you're talking to people.
Right, exactly. If I'm living there, it's like, okay, you might be my neighbor. I don't know if I want to go there with you.
But a few weeks ago, Ashley was talking about this. Ashley, you brought up when we were talking about gun control, the people in the South who kind of police themselves, and they all kind of know to leave each other alone because they all understand what's happening in their backyard. Yep. Could that be applied to what Darius is saying in the police force? Well, maybe I don't want to deal with it because I don't want my neighbor knowing that I'm a shithead, so maybe I'll be less of a shithead.
What you're implying is that maybe they should put a person in their own neighborhood instead of putting them in different
or maybe similar neighborhoods. Like if it's like say the
similar
close, like you want to be able to go home and not see.
Like Bay Ridge cops can go to Staten Island, and Staten Island cops can come to Bay Ridge.
That's my other trade-off to you is is he going one county over, or is he going a few blocks, or is he? Because you have to think about it this way: most of the cops that work in the city, they don't live in the city. They live on Long Island, or they live.
Is there like a culture immersion part or phase where they get to know the neighborhood they're about to work in, get to know the people, do some community service shit or something?
They did that commercial where they acted like they were doing that.
Guess what? That money they don't have.
They have the money. They have the money. It's where they allocate that money. They put the money towards weapons and bullshit.
For the host.
So they don't have it.
Well, have it.
The host are cheap.
Okay, so cycling away from the hose,
baby.
And back to
those good deals.
Oh my god. Cycling away from the hose and back to the opening the can of worms of different types of issues. We've actually seen an uptick in trans laws. So Sheyne, you want to run into that?
Well, I mean, it comes down to what we were talking about last week with the laws being signed into the bills signed into laws with restricting trans children and other LGBTQIA in addition to the T.
I can't even keep up with the letters anymore.
All the alphabet.
Can we just can we just give that a special pronoun or word so that we don't have to always add a letter because that's a lot.
Yeah.
That's
well, we can keep it to the LGBTQ that most people know. Like restricting them from sports in general, partially because of what we spoke about last week with the whole misunderstanding of what it is to be a trans child in the two gender system, in addition to also just not wanting gay kids around your straight kids, that they're finding ways to just basically segregate. But I will say, however, on the upside, Virginia became the first state in the South to ban gay and trans panic as a defense, which is
murder and manslaughter.
Yes.
I'm happy that they did that. I'm very upset that was even a thing. I didn't know that was a thing.
I didn't know that was a thing.
Like they tricked me, so I murdered them. Like
and so you don't need to get life. You'll get like 5 years.
I akin that to Florida's defense laws.
Inexcusable.
The whole Florida I feel threatened law.
As less than people.
Right.
Yeah. But remember, Florida has the I feel, what is it? The I feel threatened law. I can't think of the exact term where it's like
stand your
ground law, and it's like, oh well, I felt threatened by what?
I feel
Zimmerman's still alive somehow. Like how are we in that world? Like if there's not a better example of a trash human being that like we need a little time machine to stop them from ever being born type person, it's that guy.
And you know what's crazy
about very strongly about that?
Is that's still debatable to some people on whether or not they're a trash person for having that type of view on people.
There's 70 million people in America.
Stand your ground, but this guy's just a piece of shit. Like when I saw pictures of Trayvon Martin, I'm like, this little boy looks like my little brother. Like
about that.
Did you see the whole? Is that was Zimmerman, right? That was the one that was signing up
wasn't
Skittles
he?
After he,
I think he tried to sell the gun that he did it with.
He was signing Skittle bags.
He flaunts
with his signature to people.
He's flaunted it in a number of ways.
It's his
Got away
brand.
with it and flaunted it. Like,
does anybody just want to give him a nice nudge, like down the stairs, just like, oops?
I think worst.
Yeah.
If it was hypothetical,
out that window
not
with
myself,
those candles.
Just put him on the nearest street and
man.
shoulder him into a taxi or something.
It would definitely need to be something slow. He's just a horrible person. So that's why I said like time machine stop him from existing. So like I wouldn't go to jail.
I mean, honestly, can we put him and Chauvin in a room together?
Back in time?
Let's put him and Chauvin in a room together and be like the Joker and be like aggressive expansion and here, make it quick, kill each other. That'd be great.
Do you guys think that Chauvin would have been like? Do you think he would have been able to act the way that Zimmerman has acted if there wasn't like as much social media and uproar and reaction? Like, do you think he would have had that sort of behavior? Because I don't know if I can compare them, but
after that would be after the case. If he is acquitted and stuff like that, and they say they fire him, like he can't work as a police officer, or they'll give him his pension, whatever.
It's gonna be the Walmart.
He was offered jobs at other.
Probably just do the same thing.
He was offered jobs at other police stations the day after he was fired by the Minneapolis Police Department. That tells you everything you need to know about this country. Right. 4 million people still voted for Trump, and at least 2/3 of them think that Trayvon deserves to be dead, thinks that George Floyd was a problem and needs to be dead, and that's the sad reality we live in. If and when he gets off, he's gonna be. I mean, he won't hang out with George Zimmerman because George Zimmerman is too Latin for a man like Chauvin, but they'll be the same.
He's gonna be the Fox News police correspondent.
Weatherman.
It was Florida's police department that was actually the next day. They said, I think publicly, that they would take Chauvin.
Yep.
That's surprising, given that history.
Florida's so great.
Two people we were just talking about. I can't shit on Florida. I've been there and they were nice to me, but still.
You can find nice people everywhere.
From Florida.
The government, though.
The problem is
anyone
it's all
know-
there.
Does anyone know who Tan Mom is?
Yep.
Because when I went there, I tanned so much I looked like her.
You could probably do a good impersonation of her too. Like
Wait.
Ariana Grande. You know what I'm talking about. She's one of the whack pack on Howard Stern, and she's this leathery orange old hag, like
exactly like
she's
her.
and she's like I talk like this. I talk like this. I'm
I
Tan
had
Mom.
platinum blonde hair, and
Yes.
it just like the sun was just so
yeah.
strong.
Yes. And she's like,
I remember her.
She has like a white film around her mouth.
yes, I'm
She's
Tan
like
Mom.
a
I'm Tan Mom. And she talks like this, and she's like, she can't pronounce Ariana Grande.
She's so dark in some of these pictures. It looks like she painted her face black.
I mean, she's a part of the whack pack.
Orange. Excuse me. She's proud of her
No.
orange
There-
skin tone.
Orange is
No,
the new
one
black.
of them
Ah,
is like
boom.
brown.
She's one of the whack pack, like with
That's your-
Beetlejuice and
It's gonna
whatnot.
be your
I'm
little.
gonna have to leave for a second.
But oh no,
Where did Tati go? Did she go to get her tan?
She said she had explosive diarrhea.
Oh, exactly. That's exactly what I wanted to hear.
that's pretty sexy.
Yep.
She needs
She
you.
didn't keep her.
See, she needs
mic
a butt
on.
wipe.
What?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Do you remember we had this conversation?
I'm
about-
kidding. I remember. I'm just trying to forget.
Do I need to
You need
demonstrate
more
again?
drinks for that.
No.
Should I?
She's
Should
got
I?
baby wipes for adults.
Do I need to demonstrate again?
No.
Perhaps.
We don't need
I
it.
feel
We
like
don't
you
need
enjoy
it.
demonstrating these kinds of things.
I don't want to.
I am both a voyeur and an exhibitionist in one.
You can keep that over there.
And this
So
is
sorry.
exactly
Oh,
why I feel
left
like my
another
mother
one?
never visits me. Because of things like the paper towels. You can laugh at that, it's okay. I opened the door.
It's alright.
Where'd Rebecca go now? Oh, I hear the fridge.
Yep. She needs a refill.
I really tried holding it, but I couldn't. Sorry, guys.
I,
That's what she
Holy
said.
what?
Did you make it? Is the question.
My love, I did. I wish my apartment was big enough that I wouldn't make it.
Those are some tiny cubes.
That's what he said.
But in any case, circling back to the trans rights
oh,
stuff.
sorry. I can't make this. Yeah.
Nice.
Is that for me?
I'm sending it via carrier pigeon.
Yes. Can you send it by owl? I would like to see Hedwig.
Hedwig
No,
is
not
gone.
puppy pigeon.
Hedwig is
Birdman.
gone.
I mean, anytime we hear that, I think of Birdman.
Hedwig outside.
Fun fact, this is what
That
chopsticks
was
are good
unnecessary.
for.
He died in the Harry Potter world and he was revived here.
Okay. Did you
The
agree that
owl?
Hedwig was just unnecessary?
What?
I was like, everybody else, okay. Hedwig, why?
Yeah, I know.
Why?
I was like, why'd you do that to the
Wait.
bird?
Why, did he
Hedwig
die?
in the Angry Inch?
No,
No,
in
no,
Harry Potter.
Damn it.
Dobby is a free bitch, though.
Dobby is dead too.
dead.
Yeah, that was funny.
Wait, how did they all die? I thought I watched all the movies. Did I miss one?
Dobby was
Yeah.
killed by Helena Bonham Carter when they were
Yep.
transporting. It's like, Dobby's so
What?
glad to
I
die
thought he
with
was
his
free 'cause he found a
friends.
sock.
Well, no, he was free, and then he came to help Harry Potter, and then she threw this knife as he like closed the portal, and then it like stabbed him, and then he buried him on the beach.
Wait, her character was
Womp,
bad?
womp.
What? Yeah.
Rebecca doesn't
I
know
don't
good from
remember.
bad. Rebecca has no moral
I didn't
compass.
read Harry Potter.
I didn't read it
I'm
either.
confusing her with
She's assuming that we read this.
Oh, you see, I did. And that's the only thing that I'm remembering right now is the books, not the movies.
But let's be fair. If anyone was going to be that character of the five of us, Helena Bonham Carter's character, it'd be Rebecca.
Oh,
Yep.
yeah, totally.
Oh my god, so I would kill the cute little troll thing that was just freed and be pure evil?
I'd be Hermione, always stuck in books, looking up information and
This is
shit,
true.
and curly hair.
Y'all think I have hand-eye coordination? I've tried throwing a knife thing before at an old job I had. It was something we did for fun. We would throw scalpels at a piece of cardboard to see who was the best person because I worked with a lot of Russians and they were good at it. And I wasn't good at that.
Why
I
not?
wasn't good at that. It had some close calls.
I think that's the cold open right there. I used to throw.
Dark stuff.
I'm already ready, guys.
Oh,
Oh,
Let her
she
open.
ripped it out.
Wingardium Leviosa. You guys ever see that Wingardium Leviosa perverted cartoon? Leviosa. Oh, Harry, don't stop. Oh, Leviosa. Can I be Snape? I would be Snape. Please tell me I'd be Snape.
R.I.P. Snape. No, you wouldn't be Snape. I
Oh.
think.
God. I'm dark and mean and
Guard.
crotchety.
No, I think
Guard.
he also
Hagrid?
Hagrid.
Yeah, she's like combining Hagrid with Hodor.
Yeah, she really
I mean, it's
is.
comparable.
Well, I was just gonna add extra ho in
the
it
door.
for you.
Ho, ho, ho. Did she have to pee again?
Tati, you need a diaper. Oh no.
Contagious.
I thought this time it was a number 2.
She just wanted to make him comfortable.
I gotta make my doggy comfy.
Wait, so Tater would be one of the Winklevoss twins? Or whatever.
Oh.
the
He
two
wasn't
James
in that.
Avenger
You're
ones?
No,
no.
she'd be
She's not a
Luna.
Weasley twin. Winklevoss.
She'd be Luna. Yes.
Yeah,
Lena
she'd
Lu-
be Luna. Like soft spoken and shy, yeah.
Would Darius be the one black kid that they had there?
Oh, the one that's on
I want to be Myrtle.
It's true.
The one that's on How to Get Away with Murder?
Owning Myrtle?
Yeah, the one
No.
that cries.
Darius
No.
would be the determining hat that tells
Oh,
their
the
shit.
sorting hat.
Gryffindor.
I love that I have the weird version of everything. It's like the determining hat, y'all.
Who's
Hogrid.
the one character that just doesn't say much?
Who?
No, I'm asking. Who's the one that doesn't
For
say
me?
much? Because that would be Darius.
The black kid.
Oh, he could be the Quidditch ball.
They had.
Everyone's trying to.
No, I would
Whoa,
definitely
what is
say,
going on?
You know who Darius should actually be? He'd be Robert Pattinson's character, like the really nice guy who tries to help everybody and dies as a result.
Oh.
He dies.
But all the women want him.
Oh, you're frozen, Beks.
Yeah.
I love it though.
Almost-
That's fun.
Who would I be?
This because my mic hit it.
Who would I be?
We went through that already.
I thought you were- I thought you were
I'm not
Snape.
Hodor Hagrid.
I thought you were
They're
Snape.
Hogrid.
No, I don't like Snape for you.
But I'm
No.
I hate everything though. I
don't
judge
want you to do the whole
everyone.
unrequited love bullshit. That's
Talk-
not
What
you.
talk like him for
That's
the
been my
rest of
whole
the
life,
episode.
Rebecca.
Wait, but what about McGonagall?
You and
Oh,
AOC
that's-
is happening.
Oh God, please. Your lips to God's ears. I just have to. Your lips to
I
Satan
know you're being
ears.
nasty. Oh, okay.
I just have to kill her boyfriend, the ginger.
Oh, she's with the
Not
ginger.
really. Yeah, Ryan. Ryan looks like a smart, nice,
for
loving guy.
everyone's knowledge, he's not gonna actually do
I'm
that.
not gonna do it. He's just one of the luckiest men. Until Alessia finds a man, he's the luckiest man on earth.
Oh,
I digress.
But
So
what
it's
is
Alessia,
yep.
AOC, Andy
Bert and
Allo,
Ernie.
and who?
Who?
We
I
went through
said Bert and
this.
Ernie.
we went through this
We
already.
went through this.
You
Previously
gotta
on.
check the previous episodes.
Yeah, right.
Hammer.
She's like, yo, I'm pretty lit when I'm shooting it, and I'm really lit when I'm watching it.
Who else?
Yeah.
Conforto. We'll throw that on his list.
Who would I be? I've had a lot of unacquainted love. I hate everyone. I try to be
I guess you
nice.
get to be.
but I don't
do
want
you get to
people
be
to- Okay, that
Harry
sounds-
Potter or his dad? Because I've run out of
Oh.
characters I know.
Wait,
Ron
wait.
Weasley. Let's give him let him be a
Oh,
Weasley.
well, no. You know what? I have to say Weasley is dumb, but he does figure shit out in the end. I don't know
He
if that's
does in the end.
That's not me.
Doesn't
That's
he
not me.
get with Hermione though?
That's
Yeah,
not me.
No, you
No.
don't steal the lead. Let's make you smart instead. Can you be the professor dude that teaches himself before
What
he gets his
about Neville?
superpowers that gets murdered?
What about Neville?
No.
Oh, Neville. I have to say,
Ouch.
Neville.
No, no,
Look,
yeah.
Neville looks scrumptious now.
He
I
looks
will
dummy.
say.
Like,
Oh,
I
I'll take
like
it.
his growth
He
spurt.
did a,
I
yeah,
wanna
he
be- I
did a
want to
little
be
underwear
Snake.
ad, and I was like, wow, Neville.
No.
No, like,
be
he
Hello,
Snake.
how are ya?
Good.
Hello, how are
Wait,
you?
what?
Neville did a little underwear ad in like Europe or whatever. He was on like an article. Yeah.
You know,
No,
none of
it's
you
like-
motherfuckers can talk about how I like him young anymore. So just saying.
What do you
Oh.
mean?
I think we're trying to keep that out of the episode.
Yeah,
so
I
you
think
don't
he's
get
as
in
old as
trouble.
us. He's as old as us.
Wait, hold on.
No
Yeah,
way.
is he our age? Oh.
Is he?
Okay.
Yeah.
How old is he?
Yeah.
Matthew Lewis.
Olden.
His mouth is closed.
He's
in all of his
31. Get it.
functions.
Let's go.
Oh God.
This is weird.
He is quite
Wow.
handsome.
Yes. Yes.
Yes.
All right,
I don't
by
think you're
default, I'm
wrong.
Snape. By default.
What?
By default, I'm
Yeah,
gonna
You
be
just
Snake.
want Snake so
You
badly,
make-
and I don't
I
think
want to be in.
Yeah,
Here's the thing. I was
Dragon
placed in
Evil.
The other
Slytherin.
one that can't be named.
I was placed in Slytherin though.
What?
So then you're
Well, you'll be
Voldemort,
Malfoy.
bitch.
Oh, I could be Voldemort. I'll be that. I'll be that.
Yeah.
Best
Because are
line
there
in
no
all.
other characters?
Best line in all
No,
these
it's a
movies
very short cast.
was when
Wait, so I'm still the lady who killed Bhabie.
yes. Oh,
Yeah.
hands down.
Thanks, friend.
That's like the most unquestionable one right here.
Yep.
Hands down.
Aside from Hermione. I mean,
Yeah, the two of you and the ones the bottoms today are like unquestionably Harry Potter characters.
the wand I have is Hermione's actually.
The wand?
Well, of course,
Yeah.
that's what you chose. It didn't choose you.
Oh, did you get that at Universal Studios or wherever the
Yeah.
fuck? Where they like
So
give
what,
you
what's
went-
the core of your
the
wand?
butterbeer?
I have no
The
idea.
Butterbeer's bomb.
I went
I didn't
there.
know.
It was
I
really
didn't know if you had
cool.
to collect that.
I drank as much as I could.
The dragon,
dragon
on top
had
of the
meat.
building.
It does tell you, but I don't have the piece
Cannot
of
do
paper
drugs in that
with it
place.
anymore.
Oh.
I just really liked how it looked. Like it's very
cool.
bindy here, and it's just.
It is pretty.
It's good for just whipping someone into shape and
My
telling them what
hiney.
to do.
My hiney. Do you believe that it chose you?
3 more lashes.
My hiney.
My hiney.
It's like-
That's her name
He was
today,
like-
my hiney.
anybody
That's not what
anybody
Malfoy
see
calls.
anybody see you on Netflix? Because I feel like they
Didn't they just
like
cancel that, which pissed me off.
Pants or
What?
They
what?
didn't cancel
whoa,
it.
whoa,
I thought they canceled the show.
What show?
whoa,
I thought there's a
You.
season 3.
you.
No.
No,
You.
they're coming
This is
out with
season 3.
another.
No, they're coming out with
Yeah,
another
I
shitty
thought they're coming
season.
out with another one.
I
So
did not like
Facebook needs
season
to
2.
stop fucking
Season
around.
2 sucked.
Yeah.
Season 2
Yeah,
was
When they moved it to
I
LA,
saw
it just
season
went
one
to
and
shit.
two.
yeah.
It was just a little repetitive, but I did like the new actress.
Yes, I did, and I love
She
her
was-
in
yeah.
House of.
I don't watch
Roebling Hill, Haunted Hill House,
Hill House.
Okay.
Yes.
Haunting
Haunting
of
of
Hill House. Yeah.
a Blythe Manor,
Yes,
Victorian,
that too.
super sweet
I saw that one. That
mansion,
was
brownstone. I saw pieces of it. I finished one and I liked it a lot for the trash that it was, and then the other I can't
Trash.
remember.
One I liked. I want the kid to come back and like identify him. But I think the neighbor is the girl from season 1, I think. I think she's
What?
gonna
I don't-
miraculously
what
be
do we- what do
alive.
we- Which one are you talking about? Because I don't think I watched season 3. I didn't know there was a new season.
No, it hasn't come out
it
yet.
hasn't come
It's
out.
out.
I think,
Oh,
but I think
okay.
the girl he's
Beck.
spying on
Beck is gonna be
is
alive.
Beck. I think she's gonna be alive.
I
because
hope so.
I feel like
Yes.
there's not gonna be anything new and ingenious. They're just gonna keep recycling all the same shit
Well,
God, I hope.
That's the way
over.
it's. No,
I want her to
That's
come
not the
back.
kid. They're supposed to have a baby,
Exactly.
right?
Yeah.
Imagine your wife is pregnant, and then the girl you thought you murdered shows up.
Again,
Yeah.
Is
Wait,
he gonna murder her?
It
again,
hasn't
Does
happened
she
yet.
like
They
getting fake murdered?
don't know.
again.
or he'll fall in love with her since she's
Again.
alive.
Well, so he doesn't. No, but the neighbor is the one that he's interested in now. That's how they closed out.
And I
season
think
one.
that's gonna
wife's
be Beck.
pregnant.
I think that was his mom.
His mom.
Mom.
Wow.
Yeah, you took it to the
That took a
next
leap.
Hello.
Yeah.
Holy
God.
shit.
That's the- that
Netflix.
was-
Netflix
I was watching
fired
the
this
wrong
murder.
version of you. I was
Did I
watching
do
the
that?
wrong version.
The
How
wrong
I
version?
met
There's
my
a wrong.
mother.
There's the wrong version. What?
I mean,
What?
if you
And
look
at the
hard
end,
enough,
he,
the
like,
internet
stabs
is.
himself in the eyes with golden needles.
Oh Lord.
What?
Like, you Oedipus Rex. You know?
Oh, that's a good story too.
Moving on.
I don't blame the guy. He didn't know his mom. She's fine. She's fine.
I just found the photo shoot from Neville.
Oh, did you? You were looking hard for that, Ashley?
No, I still had him up on the screen, and I was
She's
gonna
like,
close it out,
Neville.
and then I spotted.
Neville Longbottom.
Neville Neville.
Has
That's yours this week.
Neville Hot that's her name.
Never.
I said it first. It was me.
Yes, it was Beks. It was all Beks. It was all
Oh, I'm
Beks.
sorry, I didn't hear it.
I'm just reading one of the quotes attached to the picture. It says, "It's Neville Longbottom in his pants."
Oh,
Oh, they didn't need to do that. I felt dirty. I've said a lot of dirty things in my life. That was entirely.
Darius, you know what's
inappropriate.
funny is that if we look at like Emma Watson, whatever the fuck her name is, now they're like, well, you've been watching her and she was 12. You're a pervert. Don't you remember that little girl?
we didn't like Neville.
But then the
when
women
he
are like,
was
ooh,
12.
Neville. Ooh, Daniel
But she's not 12
Radcliffe.
now, unlike somebody.
no.
Exactly.
You know,
This
unlike
has to get
other people.
Alessia.
Let's turn.
Alessia is 24 years old. You leave her alone.
She
That's
looks
like
a baby.
the new
Right.
18.
No, she's not 18. Not like
Not like
Catch Me Outside.
Cash Me Outside.
All right, so jumping
wow.
jumping to
Oh,
another
man, Dr.
topic.
Phil.
We can skip down to that topic and then go back.
Yeah. So Catch Me Outside just jumped on Only Fans, Bad Bhabie.
Cha-ching.
She just turned 18
Bhad, you
and
have
she
to say
made
Bhad Bhabie.
Bhad
Bhabie.
Bhabie.
Bad
I'm
Bad
gonna let
baby.
you say it.
Bad baby. No, it's bad
But
baby.
she
Love it.
turned 18
Cha-ching.
and made $1 million in 6 hours.
Doing what though with this OnlyFans? Can
don't
you do like
know.
OnlyFans where you're just like scrubbing your table and
You
cleaning
can
the-
do whatever
Good.
you want, actually, which I find interesting. Like, shit, I'll go clean.
Wait, what's the name of the website again? What did you say it was called?
OnlyFans.com. You know, they could probably pay you.
Someone's
just
going to be supplementing her income.
Yeah, right?
Like, watch me vacuum my apartment in baggy sweatpants and a jumbo T-shirt with cats on it.
Yeah.
$50 an hour.
I mean,
That'd
I
be like the scale. No makeup, face mask, greasy hair.
You sure you would get
There's-
subscribers?
Yeah, I was about to say, you'd get some views.
Yep.
Yeah. You'd make some money.
I'll talk about like everything I learned on the internet about irritable bowel syndrome. Like, I'm about to take it to the next level. I'm thinking
just
about
let us know
my
how you
future.
do, because if you get money off just chilling.
I see it. I want it. I something.
Yeah. What she said.
Well, so how does everybody feel about that? About her making
I mean,
$1 million?
Me or Bad Bhabie?
Yeah, Bad baby.
Okay.
Bhad. Baby.
Bhad.
Bhad.
Sounds like
Mecca like a high.
Bob.
Mecca hiney ho.
baby.
Yo, Darius,
Tati,
if
you
that
remember
was what
that?
her actual name was, I would subscribe.
Mecca like a
That's a
high.
badass.
Like a shiny ho.
Baby.
It depends on what she's doing on the website, because none of
so
us
some people
paid
said
her
that.
$5 to see her.
Right. Somebody said that it was a little disturbing, so I wonder what it is.
She was on Dr. Phil, though, right? That's how I remember.
Catch
her.
Me
I remember I
Outside.
was watching.
Was
I
she
was
really?
watching
That's the
that
Catch Me
day.
Outside girl.
I was watching the viral moment happen. I was like, oh my God, this trash little tween is going to become famous. She's like, catch me outside. I can't even do it.
I think you did it pretty
I've
well just now.
tried.
Wait,
No, but, like,
what's
catch me
your
outside.
motivation?
Catch me outside.
Bex, what's your motivation? Think about it.
To overpower my mother, put her in her place because she couldn't keep my dad around.
But do you secretly and deep down inside have love for her?
I do. So overpowering her is how I am able to obtain her
Yes.
admiration.
Yes, go with that. And now how does it feel when this old, bald, fat man who wrote a book about dieting is calling you out for being a horrible teenager? How does that process that into it?
So when I process it, it makes me feel like
Yes.
one word. Daddy.
Action.
Go.
Catch me outside. Catch me outside.
Bravo.
The head movement and everything.
End
all
scene.
right. Yeah, I just have to do the exercises to get like a little more movement.
No, I don't think I have that.
No, Tater, I see it. Actually, I see you holding back, but I can see it. We all know it's there.
And I think that's the promo clip for this episode right there.
I was trying to find out without having to watch what she did on the OnlyFans, but it doesn't really.
No,
say.
do not share clips.
Do we have to put the petty cash for this show towards getting a membership to her OnlyFans?
Okay,
Darius,
okay, if it's
since you're not in charge of anything on social media, you're in charge of the OnlyFans.
If it's under $30, I will pay.
$23.99 per month.
$23.99 per month.
I got y'all. Does this take PayPal? Cash me. Cow stock.
Cash me.
Wait, let's see. I'm gonna show you what this is at. Okay, so you're gonna see all my little tabs, y'all. So I'm serious about finding this. Cashmail.
Oh wait! Oh my god!
Oh my god!
Oh my god!
Did you find it? Oh.
Is that it? Is that her?
No.
What do you?
I do understand what you're looking for here.
Cashmeoutside.com. Only fans.
I'm amazed you can type at this moment.
Lamps. Brick lights. Okay, wait, no, okay.
Bhabie.
Bhad.
Oh, I forgot the A. I'm sorry.
Put the H in front of the A.
Bhad.
Bhad, Bhabie.
No, it's BHD.
Hey, there it goes.
Oh god.
Oh shit.
Oh.
Oh shit.
Yeah,
Lord.
don't you want to see?
Don't do it.
I'm scared. Go into the
What
light
happened?
photo.
Oh, it says that you already have an account with her.
Subscribe for $23.99 a month.
Choose 25 posts. Oh god.
What the fuck
Oh,
already?
is this little baby doing it?
Are you doing it?
Ew. Oh no, I don't know. Oh wait, she just is giving it away for free.
No, she's not.
It's locked.
Yeah.
Okay.
See, it's
Okay.
locked.
Wait.
Oh no, she's doing the real thing. Oh no, she's got the little tattoo thingies. No, I bet it says, sesame chicken with egg roll. With egg.
I love how Beks right now is frozen too, so it's just this like disgusted look on her face.
Shane, can
Wait, you guys can't see my screen? That's
We can see
No, it's okay. Don't change
You're
anything.
frozen.
All right, Beks, let's do it.
She
No,
wants.
don't do it. Don't do
She
it.
wants too much from you. She just
No,
wants too
I think
much
that's a lot of
information.
money.
Don't do it.
Don't do
Yeah,
it.
I mean,
No,
wait.
Don't do it.
Is her music
Are you
even
really-
worth the $23?
Wait, she makes
did
music?
you just subscribe to that through maybe next week via Twitter?
Wait, we can't.
Like the YouTube
Holy shit! What the fuck?
No,
I need to drink
no.
more.
Stop it.
Yeah, we got it.
Cancel.
I thought we
We
didn't
can't show
have
this on. We can't show this on YouTube.
Sure we can.
We're gonna get taken down. Well,
No, we're
that's
not.
a certain point.
No,
That's-
I mean,
This could be what gets us famous.
Or cancel.
wait. This is the hard research that we need to do. For
Thank
this
you,
episode.
Tatiana.
How do I have an account?
Because
do
you
have a
made
credit
it.
card?
You just made it with us.
Wait, Cardi B is on
Made an
there?
account.
Yeah, of course Cardi B is on there.
What do I know?
She makes me
I
so
mean,
proud.
I didn't know for sure, but I would have assumed. Cardi B got this.
No, I did it wrong.
Barbie.
Say it again.
This
Just
is
keep going back. It's
this is what
B-A.
happens when
Darius
you don't.
Darius knows how to spell it. That's the
No,
sad part.
Darius is fully aware.
Oh, because I say Bhad, Bhabie.
Oh, did you know?
Bhad.
Why is this so hard?
Bhabie.
Bhad.
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 Darius, spell it out for her.
Add and to hold.
Bhabie.
Baby.
Damn
It's supposed
it,
to be
this is too
baby.
complicated.
Bhabie.
There you go.
Bhabie. Maybe with.
I was lied to. She catfished us, y'all.
This is what happens when you don't spell your name right. You know, no one can ever spell
No
it.
one
with
can ever find you.
Yeah.
No, but you were spelling it right. Right.
I don't know if I really want to see what I just paid for. I've got.
Did you
Did you actually?
Did you
pay for
actually
it?
do it?
No.
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 No, we
no.
would have been able to see the.
Okay.
That's it.
Done.
You want me to pay? I'm gonna pay. I'm gonna pay.
No.
Oh, it's gonna
No.
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 Oh, I don't have a credit card. Ew, but guess
No.
what? We have an account now.
No. Access
That's-
denied.
All right, stop sharing.
That's the end of that segment. Sorry.
Well,
Like I said, I
Okay.
took tomorrow off because I do not drink on work nights.
Oh, now everybody switched.
Yeah, I know. We all moved around.
I'm trying to move us all around now.
You're,
Darius, you're here.
you're
No, that's
down.
where you are
there.
on my stream.
That's where
That,
you
sorry,
are.
Oh, oh.
Sorry.
Catch me outside.
I'm gonna get canceled now. I can't
Well,
do that as a,
her
can't do that as a guy. I'm like, you're here now, Rebecca. No, that doesn't fly anymore.
Does it fly?
Am I frozen?
No, you're
No.
good.
No.
Keep
no,
making those
but you
faces.
should- Yeah. That's lovely.
You're moving.
Precious. Yeah.
Okay, so while
Nope.
she makes those faces,
No, oh, it almost looks like she's frozen.
is
Rebecca!
she breathing?
She? Oh, that was good. That was good.
Thank you.
It's all those
Put me your
movies.
next movie, Shane.
I'm trying.
Speaking of
So-
movies.
Speaking
So
of,
Oh.
it's a good segue to
Never even
what?
Godzilla? Godzilla versus King Kong?
Our, yes.
Yeah.
I mean, I
We
think
missed
we, should go,
we missed Georgia, but okay.
we can circle
We
back.
gotta go. We gotta go back. This is.
Georgia?
All right, everything's all fucked up now.
Always
It's okay.
on
It's
the
alright.
Oh, no, like, throw everything out the window with the can.
All
All
the
week
paper.
long I've been throwing cans, so wish me luck.
3 point. Oh.
There was something in there.
That's 3 points?
That
Or
was,
did you
Hit
fail?
the radiator.
that was a negative 2-pointer. No.
Okay, so thinking of 3 points, so how did you guys feel about the new Godzilla Kong?
Trash.
Would you like me to go first? Because I have a whole list of stuff. And then we can all
Okay.
talk about that. All right, I can't get you all back.
Go first.
Wait, can I ask
I
one
think
quick
so. I
question?
think
Did
Yes.
anyone watch any of the movies before? Like the connecting movies, the Godzilla one?
I
I
did.
saw the Titan.
I
Or
did.
no, you did.
I did.
There's one named Titans.
No.
It was all about the Titans. That
King of the
came out.
Monsters, you mean?
Yeah, that.
Oh, okay.
Skull
I
Mountain.
saw
There
some
was
of that.
Godzilla 2014, 15, whatever it was. Then
2014.
Kong,
I
Skull
watched that
Island. And then Godzilla,
wow.
King of the Monsters.
Godzilla
and then-
2019.
Okay, the bad. In no particular order. Can we talk about how is there gravity that humans can withstand in Hollow Earth? Meanwhile, they had to travel in those stupid fucking ships. How they talk about in Skull Island, they talk about in King of the Monsters, how there's so much radiation in Hollow Earth that a human couldn't survive it, and that the monsters are feeding off the radiation. But they just walked out of their ships like there ain't no heavy gravity. Okay,
They had sun.
light source.
Yeah, but what about their head?
How is there a sun in Hollow
Elisa
Earth?
Gonzalez can
Yes.
do whatever she wants.
Absolutely.
That's the core.
Well, yes, she can.
Simple science.
It's not the core because if you
She
look
does
at the
it and
maps,
puts it together.
if you look at the Hollow maps, Hollow Earth is well before the core, so it's not the core. Okay, the hot girl, what was her name?
Elisa
one-
Gonzalez. I used to watch her in telenovelas, and she's like one of the best plastic surgery cases I've seen in my entire life. Where it's like, it
Oh.
looks great.
Yes, it
looks
does.
No,
great.
yeah,
Not
because
too
I
much.
wouldn't have even knew that it was going on.
She looks like
because I
an
didn't know
entirely
her
different
before
person, and
Wait,
she
which one?
admits it openly.
Was it
The April
The one who
daughter?
dies.
The April
The one,
daughter?
the
The one whose character was only there to be hot and then die.
the
Yeah.
only hot one, yeah.
Millie Bobby Brown. First of all, why is she famous?
Please
I
stop
know
being
it's because of
hard.
fucking that show, but she's so not good. Why was she in this movie?
Oh.
The
She didn't
fact
have much written.
Why? But
Yes.
why
Ned,
are-
first of all,
I
Ned
don't need
Jr.
people in my monster movies, though. I don't need.
We don't need
any-
Was
people.
she in the other movie?
Yeah.
I don't want
She was in
people.
King of the Monsters along with her
Yeah.
dad, who had like a cameo in this one. And then we
And
have
the
Ned.
mom.
We have Ned Part 2 from like Spider-Man. You know the guy in the chair.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
The fat
He's-
psychic?
That guy is actually from Deadpool.
Yes, he is. And I will say, when he loses weight, he is going to be a heartthrob. In 5 to 6 years, he's going to be the next Taylor Lautner, and then last about
Or
that long
Neville
in his career.
Longbottom.
Or Neville Longbottom.
Not that
Um,
long, Adam.
Literally,
Did you see
why
the
are they in
picture?
that movie? Why are they in the movie? Their whole purpose was to pour some alcohol on a vent to pause Mechagodzilla for 2 seconds. That's the whole outcome of this story. Fucking stupid. Okay, so when Godzilla... Whoa. Yes.
This is what she looks like as a kid.
Oh.
She looks like an entirely different person.
Oh my goodness.
Oh.
It's like some like
does.
Kardashian.
But
What's the little?
But why
the little
did they
baby,
do that picture? That's a horrible picture. Regardless.
Her fake like headscarf thing.
Oh,
Like
what happened? Oh, why?
She openly admits it though. She was famous back then. She was hilarious. She had her own show. But she looks like an entirely different person.
I kind of recognize her now. I didn't know that was. I would never know that was the same chick.
I can't remember the name of the show, but that. And look, like she's fine before and after, but she looks like an entirely different person. But
She does.
Oh, that's.
I don't like plastic surgery, but I don't mind. Like you see
No,
here, like
not
she's
bad.
different, but
Not bad. Yeah.
All right, now
It
she's
was
not as
just
hot to me.
enough.
She's not as hot to
but
me
now
anymore.
she's just doing a lot. She's doing like the hollowing out of the cheeks, and it's a lot.
She's
And
not
you
as
can see
hot
like
to
there's
me.
like a coolness here of having like an upper lip that's a little thinner that gives you like your teeth sticking out, which is like that little Amelie overbite that I like. But you know, she's cool either way. It's just
Your
I
list
think it's worth saying.
Okay, moving on to the next thing. So, what happened to the wormhole shit? Like, they had to go through this wormhole, all this like gravitational pull. Godzilla's just like, oh, in 2 minutes I'm going to create a hole that long, and we're just going to climb and fly out of it.
Right?
No
That was so
wormhole,
weird.
no nothing.
Also,
Stupid.
gravity should have switched halfway at least.
Exactly. And so,
Science.
and now, who, when they saw the scene with all the bats, was like super COVID. Chris Chalk, completely wasted in this movie, had a quick cameo in the beginning. I'm like, you know, he was the African American guy who was with the scientist in the very first scene with Kong, and he like gives the exposition that he's grown so much since he was a kid to explain the size jump. He's from like When They See Us and other stuff. Wasted in this movie.
He was wasted in the movie.
Yeah.
I was wondering why we never saw him again.
How is the
Wasted in that.
podcaster's voice not recognized by other people in the company, and he's left unguarded, and there's no security anywhere in any of those facilities? Pointless fucking characters.
The whole premise was so stupid. Okay, so this is what I need to know. Were any of these people in the other movies?
Only Millie Bobby Brown and her dad.
Resurrect-
Not a helpful.
Only Millie Bobby Brown and her
Only
dad.
Millie-
That was
yeah.
it. Stupid.
I'm so glad I didn't watch the movie.
Also, where
So-
did the kid come from, Josh? Were they friends in the other movie?
No.
Why does he have an accent and then she doesn't when she's already
that's
English?
Well, they would. I mean,
Without
I will
his
say
Josh?
this movie did a good job of having a lot of diversity in it. So I think they
Wait,
just
yeah,
wanted a
I don't give a
Kiwi.
shit. Were they in New Zealand? Like, where's this accent
Well,
coming from?
I don't know. It is.
I don't know, but
How did-
I'm happy.
Yeah.
Hold on. One good positive thing, I love that little girl and the sign language. I love seeing those kinds of things brought into
Hang
the
on.
movie. It's so
Hang
adorable.
on.
Like
Hang
the sign
on.
language, but I'm sorry, but that makes maybe not one of us because that's so bad.
Hang on
I
a
feel
second.
Like we're just trying to give you some fake.
Hang on a
audition,
second.
and it made me really upset.
Why
We're, like,
is everyone
catering.
acting that a gorilla learning sign language is such a
It's
big
rocket
fucking
science.
deal? Gorillas.
Right?
Oh,
I didn't
you're a
like-
gorilla in a zoo. You basically are
Eagle.
born knowing sign language. Like, it ain't some big thing that this gorilla, whose brain is the size of our apartments,
That's what I
would be
feel.
able to learn sign language, and they kept it a secret. Are you kidding me? That you left that girl, the
No,
last of
that's
her
not good.
people, the last of her tribe, you left her so unattended with a 100-foot-story gorilla that
That she taught son.
she taught him sign language?
Yeah.
Fuck out of here.
Why I didn't like the kid storyline is like, why did everyone think it was okay to put this kid on a crazy ship with a giant gorilla with a
that's one
monster
thing I
coming
didn't like.
into the middle of the
They're
universe?
going
Yeah,
at like
right,
thousands
right.
of
Earth.
feet.
The
Like,
boat
at the end of
is
the
shitty
ship,
ass.
ship,
She's
the only one who didn't get a
Hollow
special
Earth,
suit.
Like, why is she
It's-
there with you?
It's
Like,
also
why-
Explaining her
Yeah,
with like her
guardian.
indigenous shit going on. I'm like, why do you get to use this one child that doesn't have parents and risk their
Was
life?
she in the other movie?
Nope. Because the Kong Skull Island took place in the 70s.
She wasn't even in the other movies. I thought at least there was a back.
No. They throw away.
Oh,
They
that's-
they
yeah,
kill
sure.
all the
One of
indigenous
people that
people.
were in Yeah, she was one of the people, like she represented the people that were there,
Yeah,
but she's
somewhere-
not one of the people that we saw in the movie.
Somewhere in the last 7-8 years, you assume she's what, 7, 8, maybe 9? I don't know.
Yeah.
That means
You
that
s-
there must be other adults.
No.
So, like,
They say in the movie that the storm
all of
killed
her
all the
family
people
died.
except her. So again, they took indigenous people and said,
Yeah. Gave him the plague, gave him rats,
How
and now
did-
she gets to get sacrificed to the mercies of a gorilla and Godzilla. Like, this is so shitty.
The
How-
one thing I thought was weird was that they transported King Kong through the boat, and then they fixed
Yeah,
it.
That's
knowing
on
that
there.
That was going to be the issue.
Listen to
in the
this.
first place.
Listen to
No
this.
umbrella in the rain. I was like,
Hang
this
on,
is so inhumane.
hang on. Listen to this. I was gonna say, like, how did it get off Kong? You know, it when he defibrillated him, he just defibrillates him and then he's off of him. How? He should have died too. Construction and Hollow Earth. Who created the axe? Who built the throne? Who built the statues? What the fuck?
I didn't like there was no backstory.
No.
Wait,
whatsoever.
so none of this was in the other movies?
No, they talk about
Because that's a
Hollow Earth
supercharged
as a theory,
axe.
but you
Yeah,
don't see it till now.
you
And
never-
how do you transfer a power energy source via Wi-Fi from the center of the Earth to power Mecha Godzilla? Okay, so here's my science. I did research on this. How? So you figure Godzilla's about 100 stories tall, and King Kong's about 100 stories tall.
Not Snape.
So
Not
that
Snape is
barge,
talking.
the barge they transported him on, which first of all, who says to themselves, we want to keep him safe from Godzilla? I know, let's put him on water.
Right.
Let's put him on water. Okay, so that
Like
barge,
the one place he comes from.
right? That barge had to be at least,
Not fix the boat, like destroy the boat by jumping on it several times.
exactly.
That's the one boat that survived through all of the battering.
Why didn't Godzilla just fire his energy from under the water, kill everyone in 1 second? Anyway,
He did actually. It did hit the boat in some place,
but not
and
he.
it looks like it hits the main one, but it doesn't actually.
It doesn't. That's my thing. His first attack was just to ram it. Stupid. Anyway, that barge had to be at least 200 stories long. For reference, the cruise ship, the Symphony of the Seas, which is the largest cruise ship in the world, is 1,108.
Titanic.
No, 1,184 feet long, and it's the third longest ship in the world. It's only 66 feet shorter than the Empire State Building and 98 feet longer than the largest military cruiser, the Gerald Ford. The barge was bigger than all the military ships around it. Even with all the sci-fi ships, they had to have all be approximately 2,300 feet long, and the barge Kong was relying on at least 3,000 feet long to accommodate him. Given the scale ratio set by humans, modern artifacts, and the F-15 planes, I call bullshit. Because this ratio of scale kept changing through the whole movie. There was no consistency.
Absolutely.
He's supposed to be
Pre-Britney.
the size of the Empire State Building, the size of the World Trade Center. And then all of a sudden they're on this little ship.
No,
No.
it doesn't. I didn't like that. That didn't make sense to me. I mean, you have to transport him somehow. I get that, but then string together like 4 or 5 of them.
They ended up
I
doing
think
it
so.
with the flying. They ended up figuring it out.
You see, there was this underlying message throughout this whole movie that, like, the person who made it hates scientists, and that's why none of this follows science, because they hate scientists. That's why they made them look so evil in this movie. Because the whole time I was watching, I was like, wow, they're really making the scientists seem like really, like, just
Like
evil
assholes.
people that don't care about good or
Yeah.
bad. It's just for the science. And, I mean, now that we're speaking about it more, they
And then 2 of them died right
Some
off the bat.
scientists are evil. I think they're probably trying to allude to like the whole
like the evil
issue with
scientists.
like Japanese Nazi types that people don't ever talk about, which kind of is where
Or
Godzilla
they
comes
just
from.
tried to loop it in that they
Experimenting on
wanted-
humans.
Yeah.
I think they
Hiroshima.
just
That we're the
wanted-
real
Godzilla.
bad thing.
No,
Well,
they just wanted to loop in Godzilla and Tokyo at some point, so they.
That was okay.
Well, that
so
wasn't
the parts
Tokyo,
of
that was
were
Hong
awesome.
Kong.
That was Hong Kong.
That was Hong Kong.
Sorry.
Destruction of cities.
Well, here's the thing. How many people did
die.
Kong kill? How many military people did Kong kill when he was
How many
jumping on the
people in
military ships?
general?
He
There was
killed
so much death that no one
thousands.
addressed. It's like,
He
They
also
all
grabbed
killed
the
a
plane
lot.
and threw it, even
Yeah.
though there was a guy inside of it.
Where's Kong's cock?
No,
Anyway.
but the guy came out. Oh yeah,
That-
where is that? I didn't
it
see it.
hides. It hides.
I didn't zoom in. Oh,
I
maybe it's
think
like
my biggest peeve was, when he got down to Hollow Earth and it looked like there were remnants of
Of
like
his people.
like hands
of
and
his
statues.
people.
Exactly,
but
who
there
built
was
that shit?
no history behind it, and all of it got destroyed. But then he goes back to it in the end.
Where
I
are
mean,
the
actually,
people?
that wasn't Kong Skull Island. Wasn't like about his people. Basically, there's no
I
monkeys
thought that was
left.
his place.
I'm talking about
No,
Hollow
No,
Earth.
hidden
middle,
monkey.
like the center of the
Yeah,
earth.
no, I didn't watch the other movies. So I'm saying like
He
when
came
they get
out of
down
it
there,
at
there's,
some
like,
point
hand
and
monkey
forgot.
statues.
Yeah.
Well, that's what
That
I'm
was
saying.
never
He knew
part of
where
any
to
of the
go.
other movies.
There's no other monkeys. There's
No,
like
we
weird
never saw
slimy
that.
I think he's the
My
last of his
assumption-
kind, which is why he has a kin to the girl from the island, because she's the last of her kind, I think.
Oh,
Yeah.
I guess.
But I will say,
They just have
though,
to clean up that storyline. It's a little
I
too...
would have liked to see some sort of
much.
history behind it, like he touch it and maybe get like an image of like the life before, and like maybe he sees
What I-
some of his
what I think they were going
Like,
for was
how
like
old
when
is this
Fish,
fucking giant gorilla?
when Fish,
How old?
since about he was born like 1970, give or take from when the first movie took place. So I think what they were going for is like, how do you know fish will swim upstream to die where they were, to mate and die where they were born, and it's instinctual.
That I do, yeah.
I think, but I think they just did that, and they just didn't express that properly. Like the instincts, I think, is what they were going for.
So basically, we're never gonna see Kong again because he's gonna go off and die in Hollow Earth.
No, he'll come back
then-
and
No, he
fight
got
when they need to.
resuscitated and shit.
What happened to the other
The
Titans?
floating rocks gave you that feeling though of like
Also,
he, like,
are they gonna keep the hole in the earth
Oh.
so that they can transport
All
back
the
and forth?
holes. All the holes.
That's where the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles are going to come into the next movie.
Where are all the Titans
I'll
who
watch
bowed
it.
to Kong in King of the Monster?
What?
Remember
Weren't
at the end
they
of King of the
King of the-
Monster, they all bowed to I'm sorry, they all
Yes.
bowed to Godzilla?
Yes, and the beginning of the movie of this new one, they said that they defeated them, and I'm like, no, but they're not dead because they bowed to him the last
He
time.
defeated
The
Rodan.
last-
Dan,
But
and he
they still
defeated
exist,
Ghidorah.
though, right?
Yeah.
They also
He
said
didn't
that Godzilla was good in the other movies.
He was. He was
They're
only
all-
fighting
he's
because of
good in
Mecha.
all the movies, yeah.
So he's bad because there's an evil
No, he was bad
lizard
because there
egg
was
around.
Apparently, he
evil
doesn't
scientists.
attack unless he's provoked, and that's the pattern. He only surfaces
Yeah.
when he's.
And that was
Well,
Mecha
what
Godzilla.
provoked him this time? That's what I was
The
confused
fact
about.
that they were
Radioactive
building-
egg juice.
The evil scientist, because
Yeah, it was the evil
The
Right.
evil
Right.
businessman. But is he really that evil? Is he really that evil? I mean, the actor. I like that actor because
That
he
guy-
was hamming it up. He was
did
hamming
a
it.
good job.
He was
he
chewing up
gave
the
me
scenery.
very, like, Wish
didn't
version
like
Antonio
the-
Banderas.
Yeah.
You know? Like,
The Asian guy wasn't doing it for me.
No, he
though.
wasn't. He was. The best line of the movie though was the podcaster after the businessman dies. He goes, "That's unfair. I really wanted to hear the rest of that speech. I was fucking
Yeah, I
dying.
remember.
I was dying."
I had a lot of troubles with that entire character, even though I love that actor.
I didn't like
The character
that.
was dull.
Millie
It
Bobby
was
Brown's
stupid.
character called her
I didn't like her
dad.
character either.
All of it.
It was so. It was
I-
so bad. The humans. Are
I
so
don't
bad.
like that she goes through a whole
Yeah.
movie. If you watched all the movies before this new one, she goes through that same exact situation with her mother.
Over
Like,
and
it
over
was
again.
like, when
Yeah.
she goes through all that with her mother.
Is that why
and-
she was so happy to see her dad in the end?
Yeah,
Because
I think so.
the
Because her mom died.
Well,
Just
She
her
got
mom
killed.
died because her mom, again, was an evil scientist. They had this, like, overall theme of
Yeah.
evil scientists. And
Oh,
so
I didn't see
she
the bad
she
guy.
stays with her dad because her dad saves, her, and her mom dies. But then her dad does exactly the same thing
Yeah,
that the
he doesn't
mother did in the
listen to
previous
her.
movie.
What
Bring back
Oh,
Brian
I
mean,
Cranston.
I
God-
can say I didn't see the previous movie, but I saw like the first
I don't remember
Godzilla,
it.
and I've seen Skull Island, but I missed the last, the
But,
King
like-
of the Monsters. I didn't see that.
Godzilla's theme has always been. Godzilla came about in Japan because of Hiroshima and Nagasaki. It was about it was a warning tale of what could happen and a metaphor for what could happen with further usage of nuclear weapons. And so
Science
that scientist
rage.
kind of theme has carried through, whereas back in the, I guess, 50s was the first Godzilla film. It was done with taste and intelligence, and it has since divulged into what we have now, with the rare exceptions of certain more independent style Godzilla films that actually take it back to its roots. So that's that, whereas Kong was an allegory of how man destroys nature. So they both start in warning tales of how evil and how we're the real animals and we're the real monsters. But now it's just like, okay, people don't want to see stupid humans, but let's put stupid humans in there. But they really want to see action. So a plus of mine is that there was clearer action. There was more action because the first Godzilla, you had a whole total of 12 minutes of screen time for Godzilla, which was not enough, even though it was more grounded
I
in
didn't realize
reality.
that.
Yeah, even though it was more grounded in reality.
That
I
sounds
would have
a lot
fixed
like
this
Jaws.
film. Yeah, but but didn't
which
work kind of like.
adore.
I feel like with Jaws it works because you didn't know you knew what a shark looks like, and so you're dreading it. It's already a fear. Whereas Godzilla's like
But also
we have
it's supposed to be
60
like a
years of
giant
him.
shark, and the intention of the entire movie, they had a whole mechanical shark that broke down,
And so they had to
so they
be more
had to
creative.
limit
Yeah.
the scenes and work around it, and that creativity.
Yes.
Like, you know,
Yes.
it's kind of like if you get like a Only Fans account is always going to be better than Bad Bhabie in real life. Tease, 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 dun 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 dun. But the real thing is never the same. If you just see it all, it's not the same as like
Left to the
illusion of
imagination.
shark.
Left to the
Less
imagination.
is more.
Now, what I would have done, instead of Ghidorah's skull being a part of it, I would have brought Ghidorah one head into it, because the heads could respawn. They said in the last movie. So why not one of the dead
that's what
heads
they were
kind of
saying
like
for this one though.
right?
Yeah,
Why not have him kind of be alive and he's seeking revenge, so he telepathically takes over the monsters in Hidden Earth, and then all the monsters from Hidden Earth come up through that hole, and after they defeat Mechagodzilla, he embodies all of them, and then like they have to go kill the head. They have to. I mean, it would cut out all the humans, please, and then
Can you
like they
explain the head
really
part
have to
again, though? 'Cause,
fight.
like,
Hidden
who the hell is
Earth
Gojira?
or Hollow World?
Gojira. Hollow Earth.
Hollow Earth.
Hollow Earth.
Hollow Earth. Yeah, I was like, wait, what?
I don't know. It was 75 minutes of stupidity and like 25 minutes of fun.
It was alright.
So, who do you think won?
Godzilla.
My brother is calling me.
Godzilla.
Excuse me. It's a first.
Oh.
Dun, dun, dun.
I mean, Godzilla left Kong for dead, and without the kid, he would have died.
Right.
That's.
He would
I will
die.
say, social media is really pissing me off because they keep on telling me how, like, there's all these like articles where they're saying, Kong won the moral fight or whatever, the moral battle in the story. I'm like, no, he lost. He was gonna die twice. If it wasn't for human interaction or interference, he would have died.
Well, I see. I can't even count that first fight on the boat, like
No.
in the water, because I'm just like, I can't count that. That's not fair to Kong. That's not fair to Kong at all.
But Kong won.
Kong won that
was a
fight,
good
though.
fight.
But because of the humans, they turned off the boats because Godzilla apparently is stupid.
Right.
I have a question. Did Godzilla go slightly blind in the second fight?
When
What?
Kong was winning in the beginning?
Yeah. Did it? Because at some point Kong stopped moving, and it kind of seemed
I
like
think he was above him. I think he had climbed the top of that building, so Godzilla was looking straight forward. And you mean when he threw like
when he
the
threw the
rig?
axe and he got like distracted
And then
because
he
he
went-
looked at the axe.
He threw the
Yeah.
rig, yeah.
He turned his head. He turned
First
his head
of
'cause
all-
he looked at the axe that got thrown.
He would have been
yeah, so
impaled.
like he was hearing it versus seeing it.
He should have been
Well, when
impaled
he's-
if he's throwing his weight on Godzilla's back. That made no sense.
Yeah. Especially his spikies are supposed to be magical. Also, I guess it was supercharged on his back, which is why he always has the blue.
Yeah.
And now Kong finally had something that was supercharged.
It was from one of his ancestors.
Yeah, that's
Even
another
when
thing too,
still-
though. That like that doesn't seem like that was the original
And so,
King Kong
so I have a
thing.
question because maybe I'm just crazy. Like, can he just unlimited? Like, he can use his blast unlimited now? Like, we hardly saw. It was such a big deal in the
that's
first
very
Godzilla
true.
movie.
Thank
There
you.
was so
Thank
much
you.
of it.
It was like, yeah, he's just like, oh, I can do it whenever now.
It was like
Well, all these
unlimited,
idiots
but
keep
at some
firing
point,
at him.
He did run out of steam. If you notice,
Yeah.
like the blue like went away, like when he was losing to
That's true.
the mecha.
He also needs to charge it.
He does, yeah,
Yes,
and he
he does.
never did. Even though
He
they
never
keep
did, no.
firing shit at him. Like, I love how like people still firing around in helicopters and planes fire. Like,
Oh my god! At some
enough.
point, King Kong was sitting down, and you just see this tiny little helicopter like go by him. Like,
So stupid.
What are you guys doing?
It's so stupid. Oh,
Okay.
I don't know. Out of 5, what can we give? Out of 5 charges on Godzilla's back. Out of 5 Mecha Godzillas. Out of 5 Millie Bobby Browns. Out of 5.
Not fine.
Give it 3.5 Millie Bobbies.
I give it 2.5.
So yeah, I'm just probably right there with 3.
I would give the first 75 minutes 1 Millie Bobby Brown, and I would give the last 25 minutes 3 Millie Bobby Browns.
Really? You would give it a 4?
No,
No.
don't add them.
Would it,
You're gonna
yeah, I thought the
average
average would be 2.
You're gonna average
Let's
it
not
out.
start making sense of this now.
Okay.
I just think that the I wanted to see the fights as ridiculous and ridiculous. I mean, first of all, why are people still out and about at dawn or whatever the whole night?
Also, I have a question. Like, they should have been like evacuating the city in some fashion. At some
No, they
point,
died.
you
People
still
just
see
died.
people running
Yeah,
like.
no, so many people died.
You know
So
what?
many people
You know what? In
died.
fairness, though, it's
They're
like COVID.
gone.
It's like everyone's gonna
Yeah.
stand and go.
They were all home, and you saw
Yeah, exactly, they were at home.
buildings
At
and
some
How many
buildings.
point-
buildings did they slice in half?
Oh my god! I mean, they fell into it. They just like slammed faces into it.
I was watching that, I'm like, wow, there's a lot of dead people.
They're just
Also,
out there.
I was also thinking, like, what if they said like on like text, like, okay, go to this place. It's safe to go over there, and all of a sudden one of them gets lost over there, and they have to go.
What about the
somewhere
people in
else.
the bomb shelter that Godzilla just plowed through when he went to Hidden Earth? But my whole thing is that, like,
just that.
I'm worried about Rebecca.
Yeah.
Are you okay?
Is everything
Darling?
all right?
It seems like it's a good thing.
Yeah, you gotta
No,
unmute yourself
no,
first.
It was good news, but I asked. I was like, you called me in the middle of a podcast. I didn't tell everybody what you just said, and he said I can't tell anybody, but it's good news from my big brother. We have the same birthday. Now, as I was I cry like legit 3 times a year max ever, and that was it. That's one. Back when they used to have Bad Girls Club, I used to cry a lot more often because I thought the show was banging. It was like the Bad Barbie before Bad Barbie.
Oh my
but-
god!
The
You're, like,
twins.
obsessed
No.
with-
Oh my god, when they had the finale and they're like, there's gonna be no more Bad Girls Club, like, I cried my ass off. But my brother called me. He's basically really, really happy, and he gave me some super good news. And I can't tell anybody because he said not to.
Well, congratulations.
Okay, yep, congrats.
Ashley, I'll let you segue us into Georgia.
Did you want to segue us further? I think you want to sing the MLB song, you know.
There is no MLB. Oh, Beks, on a scale of 1 to 5 Millie Bobby Browns, how many Millie Bobby Browns would you give Godzilla versus King Kong, who really was his
sounded
movie?
like a tongue twister.
Yeah, go.
Yeah.
How many Millie Bobby Browns would you give Godzilla
What up,
versus
Millie Bobby
Kong?
Brown?
Millie Bobby Brown.
And she's a good thing on the scale, right?
She is a thing. She exists. She's just
That's
there.
funny that we all treated her as a good thing, but yeah. You
No,
could
I
do it the
actually
other way.
really like her. I thought of her as like a little, like, you know how you think of Natalie Portman and Leon the Professional? How she's like this cute little baby nymphet, which makes me feel kind of weird, which I mean.
Yeah, but she was Natalie Portman was necessary in Leon.
Yeah,
You don't
I
think
think
Millie Bobby Brown was necessary? She was necessary.
No.
For
I don't
what?
think any of the humans in this movie were necessary.
What would Godzilla
I mean,
have done without Millie Bobby Brown?
I like me a little bit of Alexander Skarsgård and everything, but that was not necessary. And it's only because of
His
Triple
brother
X
is
stuff.
our shooter.
I guess to defibrillate Kong.
You like
Other
the
than
It
that,
one? The It?
His father is a god.
The one from Vikings.
Stalin Skarsgård
Isn't
is
his
amazing.
brother the guy from It? That's It?
No, he's it.
Penny-
The
Pennywise?
spider clown?
Isn't he
Wait a
it?
second. I thought he was it.
He's it. Yeah. Yo, he's it, yo.
Alexander Skarsgård is it.
He's it.
No, his brother is It.
No, he's it.
Billy.
He's it.
I feel like I'm it, but whatever.
Alexander Skarsgård is not It. Are you crazy?
Then who's it?
Oh,
I've got to be on some crazy crack.
Okay.
You
Bill
got me
Skarsgård.
feeling like Whitney Houston right
Wait,
now.
there's more than one
Y'all
child
are-
Skarsgård?
Oh, absolutely.
Skarsgård. Billy Skarsgård. That was
Who?
the one that was dating
That's
Vanessa
who's it.
Hudgens.
Vanessa Hudgens now lives in Williamsburg with her girlfriend. I follow her on
Oh.
Instagram, and I
But
hope
she
to
has a
run into her.
girlfriend now?
I think they're married. She calls her wife on Instagram. So
I call a lot of people my wife doesn't mean
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
yeah, but they're actually in a relationship, so maybe it's her thing. I don't know.
Oh, no, I'm not denying it. Just it's surprising because she just came out of that like 7-8 year relationship or some shit with Billy
There's 6 of them.
Skarsgård.
Becca's frozen
There's
again.
6
We're
siblings.
frozen.
Look at Beck's face. Look at Beck's
Interesting.
face.
Potent sperm.
Oh. God damn it, this edit's gonna suck.
I would just stop recording right now.
No. This is funny. You fuck.
Beks.
Wait, I have to ask to join the ball.
It's weird. Only after it's in process. I think because all the invitees have joined, but then like if you come back, you have to ask. It's weird.
That's fucked up.
Oh, here comes
So,
some
y'all
Amelia
kick me
trying to
out.
blow it for us. Anyway,
Okay.
how many
so-
Millie Bobby Browns would you? Oh wait, what?
We switched
yeah, we
up. I
never
think
got
we're
to
back
the
in the
Millie
same
Bobby Browns.
spots. Y'all are back in the same spots that you were originally.
Not for me.
No, Barry's
No,
down
not for me.
there.
Ashley is not.
Ashley
Yeah.
is back down
Ashley
at bottom.
is joining me and Shane on the top.
Now I got the tops of me,
I'm on the
Tati,
bottom.
and Darius,
I'm on the top.
I like switching it up.
and Beks and Ashley on the bottom, but they're flipped now. So
I
I got-
gotta switch it up sometimes.
I'm patting Rebecca on the head right now. Oh, that's a good girl.
Or is that Hannah?
That's a good girl. Oh.
Okay. So, what rank would you give it?
1 to 5 Millie Bobby Browns.
Again, I don't. So we're all saying that's a good thing.
Oh my God, Beks.
Sorry.
Okay,
It's
okay,
not that
on a scale of
complicated.
1 to 5.
To what 1.75 Millie Bobby Browns if you're rating this on her full potential and not the potential of not knowing what to do after Stranger Things, because I think she's got the potential eventually. Like Selena, she's got Selena Gomez potential, but I don't think she can probably
Did you guys see her in
auto-tune
a...
thing.
Selena Gomez? What, singing Selena Gomez? Or acting Selena Gomez?
Ooh.
I'm saying
Or
I don't think
hot
she can
Selena
auto-tune
Gomez.
more than Selena. Selena Gomez has always been. She was even a hot little baby. It was weird, but now she's going into it, and the baby fat is disappearing. Like she looks like an adult. But Millie Bobby Brown, she's like Natalie Portman meets Selena Gomez. Like there's potential there. Obviously, she has acting skills too. She's just choosing really weird roles because she probably has bad
Have you seen
management.
her in Enola Holmes?
Oh, I wanted to
I
watch
thought she
that.
did a decent job. I
I
just
like
didn't.
that one.
That
movie
was
just wasn't that
more of what
good.
she needs to do, I feel like, and less
Yeah,
of
she needs to keep
less of
making
this
that
genre,
choice.
more of like a little bit. I mean, not that I think that was some great masterpiece, but like it showcased her talents better than.
Absolutely.
I mean,
Even
no
if
one's
we're
talents
not
in
waiting for
Kong.
the big pictures.
Yeah, like Godzilla vs Kong, you could be fucking Laurence Olivier, Sean Connery, Meryl Streep, and you're still gonna look like a bad actor. It don't matter what you
Terrible
do,
writing.
you know. But like,
Oh, what's his name? The hot guy from Hunger Games was in that Enola Holmes movie too, and he was like non-consequential.
Superman
He
was in there.
Malcolm.
Was he?
Superman, Henry Cavill, and then the hot guy from Hunger Games that was in that Emilia Clarke movie where he's in the wheelchair that I haven't watched yet. I'm saving it for a day that the second day this year that I will cry.
Okay.
Okay, moving on.
So, moving on, since Shane is talking about all this MLB stuff that is happening, Shane, why don't you run us through MLB's recent decision?
Well, fucking
About the All-Star
finally,
game.
the MLB didn't wait for the NBA to set the tone, didn't wait for the NFL to decide what the fuck to do. It actually took a moral stand and said, hey, Georgia, go fuck yourself. We're moving the All-Star game, which was intended to be played this July at the Atlanta Braves stadium, and they're moving it, and they decided ultimately on Denver, which I think is probably a great choice because the home run derby will be lit because of how high up they are, and the balls are juiced. That's beside the point. I digress. Number something.
Did you just say the balls will juice?
The balls-
ER16.
The balls are juiced, Bex.
Juicy balls.
Juicy
yeah.
fucking
I thought the
balls.
juice thing wasn't allowed.
No.
I
The
understand what
balls,
Tanner's
the
saying,
arms
but-
can't be juiced, but the balls, ooh, they can be
They
juiced.
be juiced.
Oh, it's like the thing that they did with the footballs where they like pump,
Just
them.
give me a second. I'm just gonna
Sorry.
text someone and just say, hey, are your balls juiced?
This ball, not juiced.
Very much how you
Good
will
set.
get stocks.
This
actually.
ball
I wonder
from
why.
the Field of
I can't-
Dreams
I can't ask that to me.
It's juiced.
is juiced.
Oh my god! Wait.
Why? Wait.
Is it from?
It's
Kevin
from Iowa.
Costner?
It's from Iowa. I got it at Field of Dreams when I went to the field and played catch on the field.
Goodfellas, bitch.
So,
Yes. Oh, yes.
Juice.
Yes.
Wow. I used to go to a bar that had all the balls in it. All the balls on the wall.
Were they juiced,
And
though? Were,
That's what she
were
said.
those balls juiced?
they were signed, owned, probably juiced. I hadn't gotten
Signed.
shots there before. But there's balls all over the wall. Like everybody had signed them.
To
It
the
was amazing. You get
window.
drunk and you just be
To the
trying to read
wall.
for hours.
Anyway.
I don't. The wall of balls. I don't think it exists anymore. I'd always go into there because I was trying to look for another bar that I go to where the bartender looked like Kenny Rogers, and I would drink as much as possible with my boyfriend, and we'd come out of there paying like
Know when to hold
$13
'em.
before
Did you like tell him how much he looked like Kenny Rogers as you got more and more drunk? Because I feel like
we
that
call
was
him
just-
Kenny Rogers all the time. We call him that and Chris Christopherson. I don't know why. He plays songs for us.
Know when to
And
run.
I bought pants one time. This is gonna be cut out of the episode, but I bought brand new
No, it
pants one time, and I tried.
What is that?
them on
I'm
the
not even
bar.
playing
It was a
that.
bad idea.
Ashley.
Another puberty song.
It's all these balls that we were talking about, I think.
Sheyne is broken.
I feel like. Oh. Shane permafroze.
Sheyne is, he is. He's just like.
Wait, I froze?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're
Yeah,
like
you
this.
permafroze.
How am I now?
You're like in dance.
Oh,
Oh,
man, don't move.
wait.
I'm
Now
trying to
you're
take a
gone.
screenshot,
You're
man.
back.
Am I back?
Yes, you're back.
Yes.
Did you guys
missed
see me
it.
get the sweat onto the floor?
No.
No.
I sprayed my water bottle on the floor. I caught it so the audience sees it.
Were you flash dancing?
No, I was like
Told them what?
to the sweat drips from my
Were you a private
balls.
dancer?
Dancer for money.
Did you really? Did we actually miss that?
You actually missed that. Look, I got tons of paper towels with wetness on.
You were literally like this for like
Yeah.
I was like,
Yeah.
It just
yeah.
I was like,
you were like in perma twerk mode. It's like
Permanent.
can we be serious now, please?
what were you talking about?
Anyway, so MLB
Oh, baseball.
moved because of the Georgia voter suppression laws. They moved it, and Brian Kemp, their asshole governor, is flipping out about it, saying that they're perverting the laws, that it's not true. What the media is spinning it as, the liberal media is saying that it's suppressing people and it's new Jim Crow, which it is. And they're like, we still have more expansive laws than, say, New York and other states, which unfortunately, when you look into it, they still have more access for voters than we do in these states. However, that's access towards certain segments of the population where they've minimized it for other segments of the population, i.e. black and minority and so forth. That's beside the point. I digress. MLB and numerous other corporations such as Coca-Cola have pulled out their support from different deals they've had with Georgia. Now, as a response, many people are praising MLB and whatnot, as am I. I believe ultimately it's the right decision. But certain people, such as Turtle-Faced Mitch McConnell, is saying, "Oh, I told you, when you pull support and you pull something like that,
Turtle face and neck.
and when you pull something
It's what
out,
makes the turtle.
he's like,
Yeah, it really is.
he's like, when you pull
no,
support,
that's too cute.
when
to
you
look
when
like
you
that.
pull support, what about now?
Oh my god, Mitch McConnell's so cute.
Yeah, that's never been said.
Wait, what about that?
Yeah, there we go. There
when
we
you
go.
pull support from da. He's saying that basically it harms the everyday person because it's not the everyday person's fault, like say who works at the Brave Stadium or different factories. Why are they going to lose money and job opportunity as a result of that? And where his argument falls apart is with them perverting what the actual laws are about. I say, and you can all, of course, chime in, it's taking a stand against injustice, and yes, it's going to hurt the common person, but that just means that the common person, I mean, they shouldn't be punished for it, but also means like you really got to show up and change the ruling body of this government in your state as a result.
I got a good solution for this. It's called supply and demand. We don't want it anymore because we see that we don't like it. So what the company should do, because they're supposed to be an honest company that helps their employees, is cover the lost expenses that they'll have because they did a fuck up. You know, that's no one's fault. That happens with any business. Now, it depends on what the business decides to do to protect their workers.
That's a good point. I have not read or heard anything that MLB or the Braves will compensate their workers for the lost home run derby and All-Star Week and the game
I mean,
and whatnot.
if they're really going to use that as an argument and it's really going to affect a lot of people that were supposed to be doing that, then if the MLB wants to take that stance, they can take that stance. But I mean, if that's only, I would see that only being an issue if the employees themselves collectively said something. I mean, at the same time, that's also something that can be done with unemployment because of lack of work and lack of hours. There's a lot of ways that they could be compensated for that.
This is more of a bonus.
Isn't that just right? I was gonna say that's just bonus money.
Yeah,
it's not really affecting what they were, I guess, expecting to bring home on a regular basis.
Oh,
I guess my thing, I guess to not play devil's advocate, but to be a little bit of a cynic. MLB followed their players' moves. You know, like it was the players' union. I was like, yeah, we're not going, and MLB was like, yeah, we're gonna follow the money because
fair,
they didn't want to be
fair,
in that
very fair,
NFL
very fair.
position.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So you know, while the league, hey, I guess get credit for doing something, but it was their players that were like, yeah, we're not going, and then they were like, okay, well, I guess
very true.
We're not going.
I would
we
say
have to find a
the
place.
players have a say in whether or not, how they can change it. Like, at least they know that they have power in making and controlling that kind of decision.
Yeah.
But do they really with contracts, like officially, like can they make those decisions without getting sued?
Well, with the All-Star game, players can choose not to show up.
If they might have.
Players can get elected to the All-Star team. They don't have to show up. They can choose not to play. They can ask not to play. They can do a protest. I mean, there may be a rule now, but I doubt that there is you have to show up or you don't have to play.
So this is my dumb baseball question because I've been struggling in general, pretending to keep up with my baseball fan in the room next door. MLB, right? There's the National League and the other shit.
The American League.
Really?
What? Wait, isn't that national?
One of them has pitchers being catchers.
Okay, no. Okay, I'll break it down. I'll break. Yeah.
Pitchers being hitters, and then another one has the catchers are pitchers
No. So in the American League,
for the Yankees, and the other one isn't.
Yeah, for like the Yankees are in the American League.
There
are two divisions. The American League with like the Yankees, the Red Sox, and so forth. The National League has like the Mets, the Phillies, the Dodgers. In the National League, the pitchers hit. In the American League, the pitchers don't hit, they just pitch, and they have a designated hitter. Their one job is to hit. Like Big Papi did that the last 10 years of his life.
Who used to be really good at baseball, but he's a power hitter and can't run for shit.
Like Big Papi. Like Big Papi.
Yeah, so they'll call that.
I love him. Don't talk shit about Big Papi.
I'm just saying, that's what he used to be first baseman, then he was a designated hitter.
Oh, me and Ashley are on the same page. You beat me.
What happened?
What is this blasphemy? I don't understand. I didn't know that there was a whole dark MLB.
No, it's just like they got different versions
it's like
of
a
the
dark
game.
web, and like I feel like this is like underground kind of like what the hell is going on? I thought there was only one set of teams.
There's no pizza gate here, baby.
That's why the Yankees get to play the Mets because they sometimes cross.
Well, they didn't used to. That's a fairly new development, like 20 years ago.
I thought they were just different teams, and all teams get to play each other until you get to the last two, who are the ones that lost the least. And that's
yes and no. Yes and no.
It's only
because when the playoffs happen,
it's all a lot.
When the playoffs happen, the National League goes to their playoffs, so they have one winner of the National League. The American League does the same, and then they face each other in the World Series. Where back in the day, it was whoever at the end of the season was number one. The reason why the Yankees has so many World Series is because there was one round of playoffs, the World Series. Of 5 or 6 teams, they won. The Dodgers, same thing. They of 6 teams, they won. And when they were in Brooklyn, and when they faced each other, the Yankees won every time except once.
No. This is organized, fight
Her
club.
mind just went.
I'm going back to Bhabie right now because this is too much for them.
Anyway,
is that your safe place?
Does that happen in other
sports?
Her
say, "Cash me outside," so I feel better.
Well, Trump,
but they're catching
Donald Trump basically said, "You can cash me outside because I'm calling on my supporters to boycott every single company that has pulled out of Georgia and has protested Georgia, like Coca-Cola." And he took a picture and he released it of him in his office with some asshole but the asshole Trump himself forgot to hide his Coke bottle on his desk.
You said Coca-Cola as if it was a different language. Can you say that one more time, please?
I don't know how to do it twice, but I think I said something like
Coca-Cola.
Coca-Cola, Coca-Cola, Coca-Cola.
Coca-Cola.
Hello, I'm Sheyne doing Alec Baldwin doing Donald Trump. It's nice to meet you.
That is a very disgusting formation.
That's a train. That train is just.
That's a tower, Darius.
Excuse me?
Did you not go to middle school?
No, it's a
Tower.
No, they're
Look at
not
me.
all on top of each other. They're like standing. That's how I envision them. I envision them not vertically, but
Margarita.
horizontally.
Horizontally, yes.
I was just gonna say, did you just put your drink on your elbows? Did everyone just miss that she just put her drink on her elbows?
I
Check
missed
out the
it.
margarita glasses.
Wait.
Can I see it?
Wait.
Can I see it?
Wait, yeah.
Can I see
me.
it? Show us. Put it on your
that's-
elbow.
I did already. They're moisturized.
No, she did.
She
It's
said
been
so like
done.
this.
Yeah.
Also, if you want to laugh, this shirt has wolves on it.
Why is that funny?
Steven
Hideous. My
Seagal
dad
in
got it.
1992 called. He wants his shirt back.
I think there's also a recall out on your chairs.
Oh, no, okay, so I am going to buy new ones, but I'm not going to present one more time today. But I have a few selected. I just have to pick between colors.
We need to have like a ceremony for your old chair.
Can we light them
Oh.
on fire?
Dun, dun, dun.
Do you want to break them down with a baseball bat or something? 'Cause
Yo,
I'm totally
everyone
down.
meeting with a baseball bat.
I have two.
Why I told you I'm a punks.
I
Wait,
mean,
Wait, bring it
Got
back.
Island.
And can you do a boop?
boop. Everyone meeting boop boop. Boop. Everyone beating boop. It'll be like the scene from Office Space.
Where they all boop each other.
You look like a stereotypical wannabe cowgirl with that shirt, that Midwest cactus cup, your Tabasco painting
Oh,
in a
God.
cheap wooden
You're like-
frame.
It reminds me of Arizona for some reason.
Yeah.
Oh, I could see
Because
that.
they have no soul.
Oh, what?
No, that's
Arizona?
just a joke.
I have no idea where she went with that.
Deadwood.
I don't know if
Okay,
they're bad.
so segue.
Sorry.
Thank you.
Speaking of people who do not have souls, apparently the
Gingers?
Capitol was attacked again.
Oh, holy shit. I thought you were going to the story after that, so I was like, that's fucked
I
up.
thought we were going back
Oh
to
my
Harry
God.
Potter. I was like, that's really fucked up.
Shane, gosh.
Here's the
I
thing.
get it.
I don't know. Here's the thing. And here's my thing. When this happened the other day, it's Tuesday the 6th. The other day, whenever this happened, we
I
have a
didn't mean
group
to
chat
laugh.
on the
Sorry.
Facebook of the 5 of us, and we talk about nonsense.
You
But
were the first people to tell me. This is so sad. No one else cares or tells me shit. No one else posts about things. I'm not saying that as a whole, but everyone's just talking about like office gossip or their ex sexting them or somebody died or something. But like no one's telling me like the day to day
Those
like
fucking
oh shit,
dead
the
people.
news.
God damn them. Anyway.
Yeah, God damn.
Who cares?
So anyway, we were talking about it, and the reports at the beginning were like, the attacker, basically someone, I forgot the gentleman's name. Maybe Ashley, you can remind me.
Noah
because-
Green.
What's that?
His name was Noah Green. He's
Noah
25.
Green. Thank you. Before we knew who that was, we just knew that someone drove a car. They had just recently moved the barricades in D.C. from wider into shorter to the Capitol after the insurrection in January. And someone had driven their car, hit 2 Capitol police officers, ran into a barricade, and what the initial reports were that the attacker was taken alive. So I sent a very me kind of message that everyone ignored and said, "Oh, he must be white." Come to find out, he was shot dead because he did hit 2 police officers. He did ram to the barricade, and he took out a knife and charged 2 additional police officers who shot him dead. He ended up being an African-American gentleman who, when they did research on him, they found all this stuff saying that he said things like the American government is the #1 enemy of black people, that he thought the government was controlling him through his mind, so on and so forth. And so that led to this.
Oh, that's an interesting turn of events.
Yeah,
I would
I
say
did not know that at all.
here's my very sudden opinion, which will most likely across the board, I'm saying not necessarily in this virtual room, not be pleasantly
I don't know
taken
where
in. It's like we talked about before how like police tend to be trigger happy and we talk about how the police like kill people who are of color because of their prejudices and stuff, but I think a lot of this also is just the training, because if you look at the stats, like they're killing all people, not a lot of people that shouldn't necessarily be in situations where they should be killed. It's excessive force is abundant in the training that they have. And so we look at these situations, exactly, right? Like, if anything, it's like, as much, like, I gave Black Lives Matter a ton of money, I'm all for it, but, like, I don't know what the latest thing is, but when I think about it more and more, I'm like relocate the funds, put more money into it, don't have all these officers so strained and at a limit where, like, you can't give each one attention, because even just, like, combing through and seeing if someone's case or, like, what they did was okay, and, like, doing that qualitative, like, Q&A shit, that's, like, a whole other department of people that they're not going to even pay for. So, like, you got to do all that stuff too. But in these situations, like, someone rams a car into police officers, someone whips out a knife, like, that is exactly when the police should kill and shoot somebody. You should to kill them. No hesitation. Yes, mental disorder, whatever, sure, kill them. You don't take them to Burger King, like Darius said. You don't make sure they're okay. Even if they're batshit crazy, even if, I don't even know what the worst thing that could happen to a person is. But if they're at that point, they're a danger to everyone, and I would hope that you could shoot in the kneecaps or somewhere else, but, like, if you kill someone in that situation, that makes sense to me.
Yes, I agree. Especially, you're charging at someone with a knife. You don't know what they're doing with said knife. Knife is a weapon. You have to do.
But you've seen the stories where it's some, like, crazy white lady with a knife, and no one fucking kills her. No one even shoots her. They just have faith that somehow, by her miraculous, like, pale skin, she's not going to be a threat, and that's where things go wrong.
But is it different?
See, John Grant wasn't so bad.
Is it different because no, it wasn't. Is it different because of what happened with the insurrectionists, which are overwhelmingly majority white, who none of them were killed by a result of police intervention?
Yeah,
is it just that they're on high alert now, so it doesn't matter who storms the Capitol now, they'll be killed? Or do you think maybe had this person been white, even though they killed a cop in the process, they might still be with us to face trial? Do you think?
No, I think that they would have been killed. They rammed into 2 police officers. They killed a police officer. And I also think, like, I'm honestly not necessarily 100%, but I've been a piece of shit this week. Like, working too much, whatever it is, like, I can't keep up. Like, when I think of all the things I can do at the end of the day after working a bunch, like, watching the news is not going to make me feel better. I'm like, do I want to feel super sad? Like, tomorrow I'll catch up and stuff, but it's really easy to put it off because it's so taxing. But when you see these situations, like, I think, that they would probably shoot anybody, hopefully. But, I don't know. It's like, how are these people still dying? Like, why aren't we doing a better job of protecting them? Like, I guess, of course, with a car, you can't stop a car, but, like, why aren't they putting them in Times Square blocks there? Like,
they have
protect these people and add more staff.
The problem is that they had police in front of the barricades.
Yeah, they weren't in the right place.
And I believe the fencing was open before the barricades, I believe, so that it made it easier for congressional personnel and other security members to come through easier.
It's just so sad when you think of how many of them have to die for stupid shit like this. Of course, then normal day people too, but I don't know. I think that a lot of this stuff happens because of lack of supervision.
But on top of that, back to Tati's point that mental illness is not talked about. Mental health is not widely accepted. It's not something that we promote. It's not something that we say, okay, it's all right to talk to us about it. It's all right to say that you have this problem. And a lot of people tend to suffer a lot more. And situations like this happen where, someone is doing something extreme, people get hurt, and then they die. Like, it's a vicious cycle of neglect.
I will say, though, to your point, Rebecca, about this being a good time to shoot and kill someone. I mean, me personally, I just always thought that that was never the reason to have police. It wasn't to kill or shoot anyone, it was to protect us. And I think sometimes even when they do things that seem horrendous and almost irrational, by crashing their car into police officers and then going to attack others, but he obviously wasn't well. I mean, there's a history about his mental health. And, you know, it's not to say that I don't think what he did was bad. I don't think he needed to die. I don't think anyone needs to die. And I think that there should never be a moment that we as a society or even the police should find a reason to validate that, because that's when it starts to turn into that gray area when you decide someone should die and when you decide someone shouldn't die. And I think if anything, we should always try to just disarm and detain. And that should be the only goal until that's not possible anymore. So when someone's coming at you with a knife and you have a gun, as a trained officer, I would hope that the first thing, like you said, would be to try to get that arm or leg so that he can, be disarmed and able to be apprehended safely.
Well, I feel once you pull, like I said, and I guess I look at it like this. You know, you try to get the arm or the leg, you miss, and then what happens?
Then it's
now we're having a completely different conversation about, well, you shouldn't even fire the bullet in the first place. So if you're gonna pull the firearm, and that's just the training that they have, you're gonna shoot at the mass so that you know you're hitting something, and as fatal as that might be, that's bad.
That would be for us, but I think when you're trained as an officer that uses the gun and you're trained to shoot, then you should be training to shoot limbs.
But not all of them are going to be good at it, though. With a moving target,
you miss, and then you hit a kid.
It's not necessarily
there's things that come up. But
no one's saying that any of it is perfect, but I think when we're shooting to kill to begin, you're gonna kill.
Well,
more likely than not kill.
The body is a bigger target.
Exactly.
No matter if you're turned to the side or it's a much larger target. I guarantee you, if I held out my arm, the likelihood of them actually getting my arm is very slim to none, and that's just not moving. Imagine if you're in motion and you're trying to shoot someone's hand to get that weapon away.
The only reason I would disagree is because they're supposed to be trained.
But Tati,
if you're not able to do that, then you're not supposed to be doing that. If I'm not good at doing data entry, you wouldn't hire me for data entry, right?
That's true.
I would hire you. I'd hire you any day of the week.
Well, there are some jobs, yes.
Until the end of the week when you don't see the work done.
Well, I mean,
but this is what I would interject is before I tried to say it, and I don't think my brain was there enough to put us together. But I think that police officers or anyone else in a position of authority, when you can kind of decide whether or not someone lives, like a judge or whatever, they have to have a beacon, some sort of purpose centering them into what they do. I think the best police officers are there because they want to protect people. And that doesn't mean just protecting the people that are in danger of the person you're about to arrest. It means protecting all of them. And I think if you're centered on that, you want to protect the person you're arresting, because in your head, it's I can rehabilitate them. I can arrest them. There's due process, just like police officers get. And they'll go through the system and they can improve and they can get better or not and stay in there.
And you'll have to
do it again or something. But if you think that, if you let those prejudices or there's a lot of shit that probably happens to them that you could imagine would take a toll on you, because no person can stay pure and clean. If a certain person kills your partner, or you witness a bunch of crimes and there's a pattern there for your specific experience, you might have a prejudice in there even if you don't realize it, and that's for all people. So that's in there. And I lost my train of thought, but I had a glorious moment there for half a second. But that's what happens with police officers, I think.
But doesn't the same hold true for this gentleman? I agree with Tati 100%. There should be training embedded in these police officers to train
More
not
training.
to kill, to disarm before kill at all costs.
Do you think they're going to
I
have
think this is
training, like,
different.
every 2 months? Like, people are going to change, technology is going to change.
But again, I
There's
go back
no
to
way to keep on top of them.
No.
I think it's just a role that no one can fulfill
But
perfectly.
but here's the thing. I
don't
think
anybody
that
can
like
fulfill it perfectly.
yeah.
But and I agree with Tati and Shane. I feel like you pull your gun, like that's the last step. That's the very last step. So to your point, Tati,
Completely.
like when he comes out with the knife, your first thing should be, okay, how do let's disarm. Even I think we've all seen the video. I don't know, was this England, where somebody had a knife or they had something and they had their riot shields out.
Yeah.
And they're approaching him with the riot shields to disarm the gentleman with the knife.
Yeah.
So even in an instance like that, once he comes out with the knife, okay, we have our riot shields. Let's go. Let's try to disarm. Once you pull,
The only people who have riot shields are those who are actually dealing with riots. They don't carry around these
No.
shields.
That's not in this case. Not in this case, because they had it with BLM, and BLM in DC was not a riot.
No.
And after the insurrection, though, they should all have shields. They should all have all the gear they need in the world to protect the Capitol.
We're back to the point of money.
They have the
They're
money.
They have the
They're
money.
not
They
gonna
have the
spend it on
money.
that.
But they
Okay,
have,
so-
though. The National Guard was called up, and a half hour later, National Guard was there. The guards
Also-
at the Capitol with all this protection have the resources. They have an almost unlimited budget to do it, though. The problem is the will
not using it for
wasn't
that.
there. Exactly, and that's the
Yeah.
truth.
Yeah.
And that's the damn
Also-
truth. Yeah.
And I will say that I don't expect all police officers to be like completely, I guess, perfect, because obviously that is, something that's unrealistic to approach to.
Of course.
But and still, even when you're trying to disarm, there may be a time where you will kill. But it just happens so often. I feel like that's not really.
But it is
the first
But
also
you also
different
have to
because
think
it's the Capitol.
It's a split second
the
decision.
second decision.
We're talking about, okay, we need to sit there and think about it. They have 5 seconds
Yeah.
to make a choice.
right.
I
I
know,
think-
but if I keep on saying every 5 seconds save somebody who's lighter skin, and every 5 seconds with a darker skinned person they end up dead, there seems to be an issue.
I'm not saying
There
there's
is.
not a pattern,
Yeah.
but
I would say.
Yeah, I'm
I would
just saying,
say for this.
When you see that, and then
Yeah.
you're just like, why is it? Why is it so different? Why is it that somebody that could shoot a bunch of people in a mass shooting come out unscathed, and then somebody with a knife who is charging at them with mental health issues dies?
But also,
and
you
I guess
don't
my
know that they have
question-
mental health issues coming at
Exactly.
Yeah.
With any
you.
of
You
them,
don't
at
know
this
any
point-
of the background
Yeah.
coming up to this.
Exactly.
But that's
My-
just more
my
of a.
question
That's just
is-
more of a. You're thinking of the criminal state of mind at the time. So the person
I
that
would
was
not
doing the mass
know right
shooting,
away.
not the police officer wouldn't know, but the state of the mind of the criminal themselves. They are shooting because they're doing this mass shooting. They're full of hate at that moment. They're irrational, but they're not necessarily in a state, say, of where you're seeing this guy who obviously struggled with a lot of mental health issues after they did the research.
But no one knows that staring at the
Yeah.
person
Wait,
in
my-
those
Except
5 seconds.
except the person committing the crime.
But here's
But
the
we're
here's
not
the thing,
talking about
though.
that. We're talking about reaction.
No,
Yeah.
but I'm talking about their
Yeah.
state of mind as the criminal.
Yeah,
The
oh.
criminal is able to shoot all these people and still somehow manage to get arrested without getting shot at
Oh,
or
I see.
killed.
I see what you're
While
saying.
the
Yeah.
person-
Whereas like the trained professional can't just shoot this person accurately in the arm. But also the criminal is shooting to kill probably, and shooting sloppily to like the
To
point
kill
where
as
it's
many
like
as they
not
can.
a quick kill, it's
Yeah.
like a painful
Right,
kill,
right,
a
right.
sloppy kill. It's not like somebody at the meat factory.
Yeah.
Like you're shooting someone in like the chest where they bleed out for 15 minutes while they're trying to protect their newborn baby in the mall. Like it's not cute.
Yeah.
I think in a lot of these situations, like everyone has a valid point here. You want to salvage as much life as possible, and I think everyone going into that with the right reasons is going to do that. But the problem is sometimes when you have that split second to consider the life of the shooter,
For yourself.
if you miss,
Yeah.
That's
you're
it.
sacrificing
It's your life.
your work buddies, you're sacrificing the pregnant lady down
You're
the hall.
Your
Too
family.
many lives.
Everyone's family's attached to it because now there's no one bringing the monies home. There's
Yeah.
no father
I
to
just
come home to that
wish there was
daughter.
like another part that wasn't the gut with all those important parts that you could
Yeah.
just shoot.
Love that
Just
they
like a
like
tranquilizer gun.
arms or the hands. Like
We
That's
need
what I
we
was
need
gonna say.
phasers that have stuns.
Do cops not have tasers? Do cops not have tasers like the ones that...
They
I
do,
think you
and
have
they
to
use
have
it often,
reach.
but they didn't
it's
use
like
it
only
here.
like 3 feet.
No.
right?
You can go up to like 12 feet with some of the ones that they're issued, but
Or you also might hit the wrong person.
exactly. I will
The
say,
character is.
I will say.
I've seen that in
Blah,
movies.
blah, 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 blah.
But I've also seen those tase guys who it doesn't phase.
Don't
and they'll
Exactly.
go
Yeah,
like
and that's
multiple
and then
times
you
and
shoot.
they'll come back.
The one I
But
would
shouldn't you
probably
go
chase a
through
lot
the
of
options
people.
of shouldn't you go through those options first? They don't seem to have a problem with some people.
Yeah. that
but
goes
they
to
have a
Ashley's
problem with
point of,
other
like, That's a
people.
split second, so
Yeah.
you're just like, okay, let me go through the trial.
However-
Think about it. Think about it this
however-
way. I get out the car. I'm running at you. You literally have 5 seconds. Second one, your hand is here. Am I going for my gun or am I going for my taser? You just reach. And instinct.
That's
is
the
telling
problem,
you-
though. That's the problem.
No,
Police
yeah,
should
you
be
can't-
better
I
trained.
I would just reach. I would just reach as a civilian
Yes.
doing this for the first time in my life.
Like you wouldn't
Yes.
just reach. You would actually draw your weapon out. Also, I don't know if you guys know, but depending on what department or whatever weapon you have, the trigger is actually 10 to 12 pounds. So
I
they're
heard that so that they
pulling
can't be
back.
trigger happy. They actually have to put force in before it
Exactly.
releases
So
the shot.
you have to think that they're putting that full force into shooting someone. When someone is shot like 2 or 3 times, like they're really knocking that back.
Yeah.
It's not something that is like bam, bam, bam. It's
Does that
literally
does that give more of a excuse for them shooting people, or less of excuse
No.
for shooting people? Then
I think
I don't think it's an excuse at all.
ultimately this comes down to a number of.
I just mean that I think that makes it more difficult to shoot someone.
It should.
And,
So
and
it
kill them.
means
So I feel like,
that
yeah, they
in my
really
head-
did that then.
Yeah, like in my head, it means that they meant to actually do
It
it.
meant
Right.
But also,
right.
you also to your point about like shooting other limbs, they're pulling this back so hard. It takes so much.
it
to
probably
do it.
takes time. Yeah.
Exactly time you don't have.
But I think if you're in
That's it.
if you're in pairs, like most cops are, in situations like that where you're on patrol, yes, the first 2 are taken down. The next 2, there should be procedure in place where you go through constant training of this to repetition, where one takes out the taser and one takes out the gun when the taser don't work. But that's easier said than
Yeah.
done for me because I am a civilian and I don't know. I will say with this, I don't think there's a right answer because
There
one,
isn't.
it's the Capitol. After what happened on the 6th of January, where the police failed to act, some did act, some did spray pepper spray and they were
Died.
overrun. Others said,
Some
welcome
died.
to the, welcome,
Yeah.
welcome, let's
Because
kill
they
some
acted.
people. The PR,
Or just were there.
Yeah.
It's just ridiculous.
they're on edge because they don't want to fail again. So their instinct is going to stop it. They don't know if this is another person coming out because as much as we want to act like they're most of the left doesn't want to acknowledge that there were people of ethnicity, so to speak, in the
Right.
insurrectionists. There were, and so this person could be coming out. I don't know what he was wearing. I don't know if you could see his face. In that split second, coming down to it, he might have an improvised explosive device like the ones who dropped it off from the DNC and the RNC headquarters. He could have guns on his persons. You may not see that it's a knife at first. So I understand that it being a completely separate scenario from regular policing, it being the Capitol after what happened on the 6th of January, will change your approach towards it now. You don't know if he's the first of many coming in or not. At the same time, the training should be there to have repetition and exercise to disarm before you kill, because they didn't seem to have a problem with that on the 6th of January.
Yeah.
There's no crystal clear thing. And I will say, at the same time with mental health, Tati, you see the shit I post. I'm pretty fucking radical to the left. I believe a second civil
Yeah.
war is inevitable.
I see it.
I
know
could
that
be
you
called
are.
in for mental health because I believe war is the only way to end this. I don't want a war. I wish peaceful talking would do it, but I don't necessarily believe it. So am I going to be reported? No. His stuff, is he wrong to say the government is the ultimate enemy of the black people? Is he wrong? Is he wrong?
Not-
Yes, okay. He
not
thinks they're talking to him MK Ultra style. That's a separate story.
His
But that
acts
one thing-
were wrong.
His actions
But
are
purpose,
wrong.
maybe not.
But the mental health thing, did people really know to report him, because my
That's what I
analogy
was
to
gonna
myself
bring up
is
earlier.
I talk about a second civil war. I haven't been reported yet. I don't want to start it. I don't want to kill anybody, but I believe that's the inevitability of it. I believe the government is the enemy of the people who aren't the 1%. So did he. I'm not going to do that shit, but not everyone
There are other
knows.
signs that give it away that might have led someone to possibly believe that he was a danger, but at
Possibly,
the same
yeah.
time, is there someone in his life that knows him well enough to be like, okay, I don't think he's all right?
Well, people.
Yeah, we're
people
not
that suffer
living
with-
in Minority
people-
Report. You can't
people
predict
that
any of
suffer
this.
with people that suffer with mental health wouldn't necessarily tell anyone that they're close to anyways. They're really good at hiding that. And
Yeah.
I think the biggest issue with mental health, and the reason that it's not talked about enough, is because there's too big of a gray area on when do they announce that there's a situation that they would need to take the person away from their job or something. And then again, the negative consequences of talking about your mental health and there being a serious problem. No one takes care of you because you have a mental health issue. The government doesn't do anything for that. So if they take away your job, you just don't have a job. It's not that you're going to be taken care of while you recover and have a better mental health, because we're not acknowledging it.
Yeah.
So again, until we start acknowledging it as something that's serious and that we should give people an actual mental health day, or companies should help their employees if they're dealing with a mental health issue that they might need some time off work. Once we start doing it like that, like a paid family leave situation, then we can start addressing it where it's not seen as a negative, where I'm going to lose my job and I'm not going to have a way to support myself.
Like, you have to be perfect all the time, right?
No one.
And so what we do is we just lie about it.
It's systemic versus Band-Aid. So many things went into what happened that day on so many different levels that people and government either feel overwhelmed to address it or just don't have the will to address it. And so we put a Band-Aid, and a gentleman is dead, and a police officer who by all accounts was one of the good guys is dead.
Yeah.
And our hearts go out to his family.
Just to say, his name was William Billy Evans. He spent 18 years serving the Capitol.
It's ridiculous, honestly.
It's
That's not the way any of these people should end. Or civilians or anyone else. It's just like...
I will say that is a hell of a job to have. Being in, I always said I could not do something like that, or being in the army or anything like that. I'm just not built for that, and it definitely takes a certain type of person to be able to do that.
Like the public used to have access. Like, imagine like it used to be a regular bacon, egg, and cheese sort of situation, like every day, whatever job, and then you see it ramping up with Trump being president, and then you realize, like, oh, this is dangerous, and they still came into work every day. They did that. Like, I don't think any of these people necessarily thought they were going to sacrifice their lives. Like, I've been to the Capitol.
Yeah.
There were just lines. I'm not saying it's McDonald's.
Well,
but like, it was
whoever thinks
regular.
You could walk up to
whoever
that building.
thinks that they're going there and that that's gonna be their last day. Whoever thought that anything like that.
Because it's not like the White
I
House.
doubt they did, and they still were so heroic.
Yeah.
I don't think anyone
sad.
goes into work thinking that it's going to be their last day going to
Unless you
work.
work in Times Square, which bomb scares every single
And that's
day.
where the intelligence agencies failed them, whether it's a willful failing or a negligence failing or probably a blend of both. They knew these people were going to be there on the 6th. They knew they were going to march there, and they didn't do anything about it. Whereas the intelligence
also probably thought that those for the majority, white people weren't capable of these things.
I mean,
But white
even if
terrorism-
they thought that, we saw what they did in Michigan.
Yeah,
when they locked down the state, and that in itself was insane because that was happening during the Black Lives Matter protest, and so it was just night
Not
and
on the news.
day on how it was handled.
And maybe Black and Latin communities in the inner city have more shootings per capita of individuals and shit that goes down there. But the mass shootings in this country, by far, with the exception of that Muslim couple in California a few years ago and whatnot, are all perpetrated and the exception of Virginia Tech, are all perpetrated by white individuals. It's white domestic terrorism, and they still do nothing to act on it. They still don't put it on the terrorism watch list. But when BLM was down there, they had the blast shields, they had the batons, they had the stun guns.
They pushed that old man and busted his head open.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
And they all got
That was
off.
Buffalo, right?
And they all got off. And he was an
and then
old
when they were
white
gonna
man.
help him, that one cop even pushed the other cops away.
I know.
Oh, no.
But that's again falling in line and being like, no, you don't do that. You stand over there with the
So many problems in play. So many problems.
Systemic versus Band-Aid.
Okay, so on that note,
Does this mean it's Darius's moment of the night where he's gonna rant for 25 minutes?
wait,
Go ahead.
Oh, I don't know. I guess I got that polite mic.
I'm
on.
ready.
I don't really like
ready.
talking when other people are talking, so I just let you
Wait.
guys have
What-
your say.
what is he?
I
I
want
have
Darius
a
to
lot
have
to
a
say
moment
about
because I
this,
feel
but
like
we
he was
won't-
gonna say some
We
things.
won't go there. No.
Okay.
We want to go there,
Not as
though.
fast.
Yeah.
What I do
Oh,
want
we're
to say
there.
though.
We're there, Darius.
What I
we're
do want
already
to say
there.
is though, we use that whole split-second thing with the Chauvin trial. No, I can't. No.
8 minutes is
Yeah,
enough.
no.
8, 9,
No,
9 and a
8
half.
minutes.
9.5.
9 minutes 29 seconds is not a split second.
No.
So we are sorry, listeners and viewers. We go back. We
We're not
amend what
sorry.
we said about the Chauvin
We
trial.
amend what we say.
Sorry, not sorry.
Yeah.
It's not a split second in that decision, but in this case, that is where that split second thing does go.
Yes,
This was a
yeah.
split second thing,
Mm-hmm.
and that's
obviously we're
really
talking about like where it applies, but
Yeah.
yeah.
thanks for clarifying.
Yeah, no.
Yes.
Well, that's
for
the beautiful thing
yeah,
about
yeah,
this group.
Exactly.
We
Never.
take things on an individual basis as best we can.
Absolutely.
Even if we don't have a definitive outcome because we know it's more complicated than that, that's the goal of the show, is to talk about the complexities of situational stuff. It's not a
That's what I
broad.
like so much
yeah.
about this, like talking with all of you. Like I can't always keep up to date with the news.
Same.
I-
Shade is my resource.
Love having like people to talk
That's
to
why I
that
look
can
like
change
this.
my mind. Like
Or make you
last
think about
episode,
different things.
exactly. Like last episode, Tater was talking about trans sports and like all of like the challenges people like that might face, and I was like, finally, I'm hearing an argument here that like speaks to me and opens my mind. I didn't necessarily have an opinion. I didn't necessarily swing either way there. And I was like, I don't know what to say. I might be on drugs. I don't know what to say. Like, I don't know which way I go with this. Like, I just, like, a lot of times, like, sometimes when you don't have an opinion, you're just, like, need more information to digest to, like, finally go either way. And I think that's what I like so much about talking to all of you people I've never met in person before. All quarantine, like.
You've met me.
Like, I actually look forward to this.
What the fuck? You met
Shane,
me.
It barely
I know, it was
counted.
like 2
You're just
seconds.
Like a shadow in the dark snake.
Sure.
But this has been nice. Like, yeah, like I get to hear
No, it
about
really
things that I
has.
normally don't read about. I know Darius has a therapy session. Like sometimes Darius looks miserable and doesn't say anything, and at the end he's like, "I really needed this," and I'm like, I start tearing up a little. I'm gonna cry so much more this year, I feel. But yeah, that's the end of
Tears
our
of joy, tears of joy.
So, on the back of your drug statement,
Oh my
Yeah,
god.
drugs.
That's an
Drugs.
awful segue. Oh
Wait,
my
are you talking about Whitney
god.
Houston?
no. Wait, why are we talking about Whitney? Whitney
Is this the Lil
Because of
Nas X
drugs?
episode?
But then, no, come on.
I thought my
She's more
segue
than
about the
drugs.
Avengers
She's more
like
than
3 weeks ago was bad.
Hey,
Well,
hey,
let's just.
hey.
That's,
Okay.
that's what editing's for.
I'm not editing that
So,
out. Shit.
moving on. So obviously you guys heard about DMX. He recently had a heart attack. He was revived 3 times. It was the result of a drug overdose, which was the whole point of the segue. And he also has
Obviously.
COVID as well.
Oh, he has COVID. I didn't.
Yes.
What?
He does?
Yeah, he is COVID positive.
Ooh.
Says the article I read. So
I'm sorry, you just overloaded me, and I'm trying not to quote a song, even though I actually am sad about this. But actually, you're about to make me lose my mind.
Suck my dick.
Is he okay? I'm sorry. If you can say "suck my dick" in a song, I can make a little joke. But is he okay?
No, he's not.
I think he's dead.
Is he okay?
No, I mean,
I'm sorry. That was funny.
Shit, where did you turn the song off? You're enjoying this too
Still
much.
on life support.
No, just the way you
as of
said it.
28 minutes ago.
Okay.
that was all.
They're doing some critical brain function tests.
Yeah, do you know all the stats? Because like if there's like a GoFundMe or whatever, like keep him alive a little longer. Like I just feel like DMX would be like that miracle person. You know, like
I mean,
I believe that too.
He
I think
survived quite a bit.
I don't know. Like
He
it
survived
sounds
quite a
really
bit
like
of
heebie-jeebie weird, but like I feel like DMX would be like that guy who's like, we kept him on life support for like 10 years. The fans kept him alive. And, like, he comes back and has like a whole fucking album and shit.
Has anybody seen The Sopranos here? Who's seen The Sopranos through and through?
Okay, I'm watching it right now, and I swear to fucking God, Shane, if you spoil the ending for me,
Have you gotten to the point where
you.
Tony's been
I'll
shot?
kill you.
Has Tony
No.
been shot yet?
He's been shot in the gut. He had the coma thing.
Okay,
That's what I've been watching.
Leave it at that. Leave it at that. I
And
feel
just
like.
want to say Furio is bae. Furio, if you're
All
watching,
right. Shush.
I will subscribe to your
Shush.
OnlyFans.
Shush.
Sorry.
Shush. I feel like DMX is in a Tony Soprano-esque coma, and he's going to, at all odds, beat this and come out with the greatest rap album that was ever made.
Exactly.
And he's going to win all the Grammys. And 50 Cent's going to feel real bad because he can't no longer say he was shot 9 times. The X is going to come out with COVID and heart attack and brain damage and all this stuff. I think he's going to pull through. I honestly, fully to God, believe he can pull through.
It
Really,
says
because,
multiple sources has said he's had little brain activity, so fingers crossed that these tests come out with something positive.
Do you know that if his family is like leaning towards not doing all that, keeping it calm? I feel like he probably has the funds.
Wednesday's test will determine the decision the family may have to make.
Oh.
When? Tomorrow?
Tomorrow.
I want him to pull
I
through so
picked the
badly.
worst day off ever.
I know there's a
that's-
vigil outside the hospital with like I heard thousands of fans are outside.
Yep.
That's awesome. Yeah, no. Like if there was like
Hopefully
legit,
that
if like
love
people
is
could pay,
supported.
I would pay. I would pay to like I feel like people. Sorry, my alarm was like, you should go to sleep now. Just went off. But I feel like his fans would pay to keep him alive.
I mean, being
he's
outside
okay.
of his hospital, I think is enough. And saying, you know, we're with you and we support you and we hope the best for you is, like you said, hope that he wakes up as a result.
I mean, if it is his time, I will say that he's lived on the edge for a really long time. So
That's true.
I'm just sad that it's still that same struggle, because it seems
Yeah,
like
and-
regardless of everything he's been through, it's followed him.
He said
Yeah.
in an interview that I think he was like 14 and he like smoked a blunt laced with crack given to him by this one of his mentors. I think the guy was 30. He was 14 at the time, and
Wow,
he's
what
been
piece of
struggling
shit.
with this ever since.
Yeah.
Exactly, he's been struggling with this.
Mentor.
He trusted somebody, a mentor of his, right?
That's normally how it happens.
I actually
And
haven't known
I'm
any of that
hooked.
background. It's so fucking
I just know that he's
horrible.
OD'd a couple of times. Like I think this might be his
Yeah,
third or fourth.
apparently he said it does say that he relapsed this time, and that's the result of the OD. So,
I hope he pulls through. I don't know.
so I know this.
It
will
doesn't sound
air
hopeful,
on
but-
Thursday, but hopefully
But if you
we'll
can-
have some positive news come
Yeah.
Thursday.
Kick it, you know? If he can
Like-
kick it, then
Yeah, that'll be some
Oh.
kick-ass
Yeah.
stuff to have a
Yeah.
rap album afterwards.
Mhm.
Yeah,
I feel like he can beat the odds. I don't know, but maybe I'm just being hopeful, which is
He's
rare.
done it
Rare for
He's
me.
done it before. He's done it before. So
He feels like
I
just
mean,
like a strong dude. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
it's the
It
yelling
is.
in his songs. That's why, you know.
I mean, if it's Thursday and he's still on life support,
I'll
then
give it to you.
we're pulling for you.
yes.
We're pulling for your
Yeah,
ex if you're
sorry.
still on life support. If you've passed on by Friday when this is posted, then our hearts are with your family. Be at peace. And if you make it out, we'll buy the album.
Yeah.
Shane.
What?
Oh, we thinking of
I went through a lot of emotions just now. I'm like, oh
Yeah.
man, just don't use this for any promo stuff.
Okay, speaking of stuff we will use for promos, Sheyne.
Questions. I have questions. This week it's my turn to ask questions. Okay.
Ooh, it sounds like it's
I'm
great.
afraid.
Nice.
Is everybody ready?
No.
I'm about to be.
Oh, by the way, no one mentioned this, and I'm really happy that they finally legalized weed, like, more in New York. Yeah, I mean, just saying.
I actually don't like it at all. It being around it gives me migraines, so I don't care one
Same.
way or another. But happy
You
birthday.
might be around the wrong type.
I don't.
Yeah,
I
I feel
don't.
like you need some better stuff.
3
I was
to
gonna say,
2.
surprise, surprise. I don't, but you know.
Yeah,
Surprise,
I
surprise,
mean,
I
as an
don't.
asthmatic,
Why
I
would that
just
be
don't
surprise?
like
You're
to be on
deacon.
any of it.
Oh, no, I'm like
Yeah.
surprised. It's like surprise, surprise. Darius doesn't, but
I had the feeling that you didn't. Because
It's like
sometimes I
surprise,
feel like you
surprise.
look. You
Darius
have this
doesn't drink.
during the meeting. Sometimes you got like this.
That's like the giveaway that you don't smoke weed. Like,
Yeah, that's the anti-weed.
I don't smoke weed. Yeah,
But like if you did, like so this is before. This is the weed.
Yeah.
I've never done a drug in my life except for Oxy because I was prescribed it. And morphine.
Oh,
That I was prescribed it.
well,
I will
okay,
admit
we'll just,
nothing.
yeah, it's like, let's just skip this
Okay,
conversation.
question number 1. And this comes from my English 3 in
That's what
high
she said.
Yes. English 3 in my high school course speech, which I fucking hated because I know how to talk. But it was the one question I really enjoyed. And I will ask around the horn, what color would you be?
Oh, what color
Of
would I
what?
be?
What color?
In
Tati
what
first
world
because
or
I'm gonna go around the horn as to how I see you. So Tatiana, as you fix your
I
luxurious
see-
hair.
Yeah, because I was thinking of the rose gold, the pink in my hair, so I would definitely be pink.
Why?
Pink is pretty.
Why?
But pink
Get
is pretty.
deep. Get deep. No. Why does your soul reflect rose gold?
Because it's the color of my hair right now, and that's how I'm vibing. And I feel like
love
if I
her.
cut inside me, that you might find that color somewhere in like my gut.
Oh my god, you're gonna love my answer.
So you bleed rose gold.
Damn right.
And
baby.
it's rich. It's rich
It's-
and it's natural. And it's,
I'm-
It's not that plated shit.
organic,
It's not
and
that
it smells
plated
good.
shit.
It's not that
It's
plated.
solid. Yeah.
Darius.
Oh, you threw
Whoa,
another
whoa,
wish
whoa,
on there.
Oh,
Whoa,
all right.
whoa.
I'll put a bleep.
No
Don't
last
worry.
names, only in the
I'll
last
put a-
episode by accident.
It's in the tags.
It's
Darius,
fine.
what color would you
what
be
color would I
and
be?
why?
I'd be red for all my suppressed rage. Anyway,
Wow.
I digress.
Whoa. Deacon Darius.
See, what had happened was.
no, that might actually
I
be partially
digress.
true. Anyway.
Yeah,
I think that's
that
really
also, Look,
true.
I felt like that was kind of true.
I think we can move on from you now. Ashley, with your pussy ears, what color would your soul be? I'm a little drunk. I'm bringing it back to the first words in the first episode 5 weeks ago. What color would you be, Ashley?
What?
I didn't understand where
The
he was going
first
with
Where
the
did
first
we go?
lines in the first episode were basically talking about pussy. This is the beginning of the new podcast.
Yeah,
How's
we're starting
everybody
off
doing
with,
today?
With the pussy on Shane's lap, is that how we're
There it
saying?
is.
Everyone ran around the horn except for Darius
Oh.
and
No,
said pussy,
I
pussy,
didn't.
pussy.
This is
Yes, you.
disgusting.
It was Rebecca.
I'm so glad you said that word first, because I've been trying really hard not to make pussy jokes this entire time. I was like, don't have me on YouTube saying pussy, please.
It was Rebecca.
Oh, I think I remember that. It was something about pussy popping or something.
Pussy, pussy.
I was talking
It was her
about
pussy
cats.
ears. It was anyway. Ashley, what color would you be, and why does your soul reflect this?
I would be burgundy because it's dark. I look good in it. To Tati's point, if you open me up, there'll probably be some burgundy.
So far we all have
I think so for the
Oh,
blood.
shades of red.
yeah, shades of red.
Well, yeah, so you have to
I'm
think
gonna
about
fuck
it.
it up.
Red is a shade of passion, of anger, of desire, and it kind of holds a lot of weight. And I think when you see someone in red, you're kind of like, ooh, damn. So.
Yeah, your answer just made me say
I like
ooh,
that.
damn.
It's getting better as we go along. Beks, don't let us down. Rebecca.
Right.
What color? What color, Rebecca, would you be?
Okay, so I change every day, sorry, but I think I would be one of two different categories. So I would either be lime yellow or lemon yellow or lime green, because I think it's like gooey and gross.
And you put them in drinks.
Burgers.
And you want to be like a neon sign.
And I want to be put in drinks.
Yeah, I love neon bar signs. Like, it's like loud. It's the color somebody might have had their hair in the 1950s that no one can remember for any reason, that people had weird little hair bang pieces back then. The other color, of course, would be black. My favorite color to wear, how I feel.
Black like my soul.
The color, exactly. Like black like my heart. Black like my eyeliner. Like, I love pitch black eye makeup, everything, and I love film noir. I love black and white movies. So it'd be black.
Okay.
Black would be the color.
Okay.
I can't remember what else my point was, but I went black all the
I
time.
think you got it.
So this is the first time I tried black nails, and I will say that I keep on saying that my nails look like I'm like evil, but they're so pretty.
It's just like all of the dirt.
Juxtaposition.
That's because, I did this because of charcoal, because I draw and it looks like I don't wash my hands ever after drawing.
Let me tell you something. I was so concerned that having white nails, I'd look like really dirty all the time, but actually they maintain themselves really well. It doesn't start getting like weird.
Dirty on the
Yes,
inside.
girl, yes.
Yes.
And look at my nails. They're dirty and there's no nail
And you
polish
like it
on
that
them.
way. I would be.
That's how we know where they were.
Does anyone want to guess my color?
I don't know her.
Your color?
I would guess
Silver.
Something
blue
snaky.
and orange.
Oh God.
I'm leaning towards blue for you. I don't know why.
Wait, like that sounds familiar.
Darius knows me best. Darius?
I said purple, but I don't know. I got that.
I would be
vermilion or some complicated color.
I would
Cobalt.
be, and this is my answer in high school, infrared. Because I am all the colors of the spectrum, but no one can see me.
All right, moving on to question 2.
Fuck off,
I don't
Shayne.
see you. I don't see you. I don't see
Chug
you.
that wine. Get drunk so you stay a different color.
All right, let's go from the
Shayne
funny.
just basically said he's camo.
Oh, I've seen those kind of pictures with people in camo. They do really good sometimes. You can't see them.
All right, question 2. Let's get deep. We'll start with Rebecca. We'll go counterclockwise. What's the greatest regret of your life?
Wow.
Deep.
Yeah, that is deep.
That's kind of I don't know if here's my answer, and please bear with me. I would say, as much as I do the kumbaya, nice, whatever shit, and of course you see me doing this, I think I make mistakes all the time. Maybe I learn from 50% of them. The other 50% are mistakes I'm making over and over again. So I'm constantly full of regret. But as soon as I make a mistake, I forgive myself almost right away. So I guess my greatest regret would be kind of like how quickly I forgive myself for doing stupid shit.
Oh, okay. That's.
And if anything, I'd like to turn that up a notch so that I could maybe have a little more self-control sometimes. But also, I don't know. I don't know if I've done, like, quite honestly, every time I've done something stupid that, like, I feel like I regret, and everyone else is like, it wasn't bad, I didn't notice. Like, by next week, I've one-upped it. I take it up another notch. Full on Gordon Ramsay, Emerald Lagasse. Bam, bam, bam. So, I don't know if I've hit the greatest hits just yet.
Okay.
I haven't killed anything. I got it. Sorry. Backtrack. One time when I was in the Dominican Republic, I walked past a chicken that had brand new chicks, and I stole one, and I didn't know how to take care of a chick, and I was like, it loves me, it likes me, and it got sick, and I tried to feed it, but I didn't know what to feed it, and my sister poured soap water on it, and it died, because she said it was dying, and she said it would just die faster. She did it in front of me. I was like 6 years old. It was like the worst thing I've ever seen, and I've always felt so guilty about it, because I was just like a little kid, and I didn't know how to save it, and so she's like she said it was already dying, and it's hot over there, so it was like in a tin can and everything, and she just poured soap water on it, and I watched it like shrivel and die and stuff, and that was like the worst thing ever. So if I could go back in time, I would not take the chick and leave it with its mom. Sorry.
Oh my
No,
God,
my
I'm like
goodness.
tearing up. That's
Yeah, I did too.
Oh my God.
It was-
almost
It was like
trying really hard.
legitimately so horrible as a child. And my sister's like the nicest person ever. So, like, that's like one of the most vivid memories I have ever of her, which I feel really bad about because she went to boarding school too. But like she like poured water over it, and it like had soap in it, and it like was like.
Oh
But
my
like
God.
it like legit was already about to die. But I don't know why she did that and why I had to see it, and it like is burned in my memory, and I feel so bad about
my
it. Like I
God.
wish I would have just like never picked it up. I didn't know how to feed it. I don't know. I was feeding it rice, which is even worse, like raw rice. Yeah.
We'll just say that you didn't know. You didn't
Yeah,
know.
you were 6.
You didn't know.
You didn't know.
Don't even get me started on the puppy. The puppy's like.
Oh my gosh, no, don't talk about the puppy.
Sheyne, what did you do?
What did I do?
Why do you have so many bad memories of animals?
I
As you're
killed a dove.
laughing.
I went to a monastery, and I was talking to a nun. I was just a baby, and they gave me the dove, and I grabbed the dove and I snapped his neck. I swear to God, it's true. There's pictures.
Oh my
I
God.
killed
There's pictures. Who took pictures? Why would anyone take pictures?
They took a picture of the nun holding me, and they let me hold the bird because they thought I could do it, and I like snapped his neck by accident, and like. I'm sorry. I've never told that to anybody. I'm sorry, but hello, internet. Yeah, I don't tell. No, for real. I killed a dove in a monastery in Guatemala by
I will
accident.
say-
I was like 6 years old. By accident. Can I emphasize?
By accident.
accident. I am not the Antichrist.
Can we give
No,
our hugs
I
again,
would
but
just
this
say
time
the
to
only
Rebecca? Like, give the hugs
Yes.
to Rebecca. We love you, Rebecca.
I have made it up to birds. I've raised birds. I've hatched them out of their eggs. I've taught them how to fly. Like I've made it up to birds, but yeah, I fucked up. I was just
You were a
baby, that
child.
was
You didn't
It
know,
happened.
and you
Yeah,
corrected
you
it when
did
you
know.
were adult. So that's
all
what
that
makes you
matters.
mighty, and that's why we love you.
I just want to make you feel better by saying my brother did the same thing to ducks. So it happened.
Yeah,
He
at the
just don't know.
monastery?
He thought they could swim. So he put them under the water though, instead of letting them float on top of the water.
One of
That's what my
my
brother does in my
ex-partners did
cockatiel.
Oh, your brother did it too. You see, it
To
happened.
a duck?
No, not my
No.
brother. One of my ex's brothers, apparently they had a pet duck, and I guess the brother squeezed it too hard, and all of its organs pooped out.
Oh my God.
Okay.
That's not just regular too hard. That's like really, really, really too hard.
No,
It
like
takes a lot
they
of effort.
Yeah. My brother also did this thing where we had little garden snakes, and he like opened it, like, and they had to sew the sides of the mouth back. I mean, it ended up dying afterwards, but they tried to fix it, and it didn't work.
Sheyne,
He had a problem with animals too.
we went down.
So
this
did with
rabbit-
what? So did with what?
I'm never asking questions
Jay, I was
again.
gonna say, Shane, if you ever ask another question,
You're not allowed.
But since we're here, Ashley, you're next.
Okay.
Jeez.
So yeah, we're gonna get deep on this one. Most of you guys already know my mom is sick. She has multiple sclerosis. She's had it my entire life. So one of my biggest regrets is at some point we had to move out to Cleveland, and in order for me to find a better life and start a career and have some semblance of success, I had to move back to New York, and I had to leave her behind in the process. And it took us probably 4 or 5 years to finally get her here to where like she's closer to family. So that is my regret.
But she's here.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
you
So
did
at
the
least
right
you were
thing.
able. Yeah,
Oh, Ashley, I want to
Hugs.
hug you so bad.
Hugs again.
You're such a good daughter. You know that.
You
I
are.
hope you know
Yeah,
that.
you did
You
it.
really are.
You did it. You got her here.
Like
so.
the fact that you even were able to do it and that you still feel bad now, even though you were able to get to the other side of it. Like, you're so sweet. You shouldn't feel bad at all. It's so tough to do anything. Moving
did it.
just yourself, another person, and someone you love on top of that, like, that's a lot. Yeah. Oh, we're all mushy this episode. I'm like killing birds. Ashley loving her mom.
Okay, who's next?
Darius.
That's
I think I know what Darius's is. Talking shit
Not
about
speaking
Beyonce.
it's disinviting Sheyne to his wedding is his biggest.
We almost went whole episode.
You didn't say it. I said it. So you're good. You're in the clear.
Yeah, is she gonna be the new Voldemort? Like that who shall not
Be who shall not be named. Oh.
Literally,
I love her more and more because of how much we've insulted her by accident here. She's like the new Oprah. She's so naughty to love, you know?
I mean, I think she has a song called Naughty Girl, right?
Oh yeah.
You naughty girl.
All right, Darius.
Don't act like you don't know that song, Darius. Come
Darius
on.
is just watching that, just watching all of this unfold.
I
Oh,
am
yeah, I love
just-
Naughty
just
Girl.
watching you and trying to avoid
Darius,
answering
on the
this
naughty
question.
girl note, what's your biggest life deepest regret?
Yeah, what
Let's
was your
make us
naughtiest?
cry after we talked about that booty shaking song.
I'm not gonna make you cry. I don't think I have anything to make you cry. I was
You
going
cry
to
every
say
episode.
I was going to say like not really just taking time and doing things for myself just in life, like really even with this whole acting thing, like there were times where I put it on the back burner for family or for just whatever. But if I'm being, I don't know, if I'm really just sitting here reflecting, because I'm thinking about one time in particular a couple times in particular where I just didn't go to an audition that I had booked an audition, I just didn't go. But the reason I didn't go was because I was helping to take care of my grandmother who had cancer at the time. And I don't regret a single moment of that because I got to spend that time with her. So that's what I was going to say, but I don't regret it. I'm not doing what I thought I might be doing out of college, but like I said, I got to spend that time with her. I got to be with her, holding her hand when she took her last breath. So like I don't regret a single thing. So
Darius, I was gonna ask you if she was still here, so that's you spent that time with her. I think that that's
this was her chair actually. This was her chair. So,
That's so sweet.
that's the opposite of regret.
Yeah.
But I can agree with you there about like not taking the time to focus on you. Like I didn't learn that until probably maybe 2 or 3 years ago.
Yeah.
Like
Same here.
I never spent money on myself. I was always so focused on helping my mom or trying to pay the bills and making sure I had food tomorrow. It wasn't well, let me splurge and get these really nice pair of shoes because they're gonna last me longer. So it's you learn. It's a process.
Right.
Yeah, and the level changes all the time. How you can take care of yourself. It can be so many different things, like what
Mental
you
health.
eat, what you do, where you go, just taking a break, taking time off, what you wear,
Traveling more.
how you
too,
present yourself, traveling, the friends you make, conversations you have,
the
the
time
hoeing you
spend,
do. It's different.
the writing you do, the acting you do, the failed films you have.
What you want to put out into the world, what Darius is saying about acting, I thought I wanted to be an actress for so fucking long. I thought I wanted to be a comedian, but a comedian with an audience, which is why this works a lot better. I was I want to be a comedian, but like Sarah Silverman style, who's always my hero for way too long, but where the people talk back at you. I was I can't do it by myself. I want to have a little back and forth. You have all these ideas in your head, and then life hits you, and bills hit you, and people dying or
Yeah.
illness or whatever the hell's going on. Like,
life happens.
Like John
like
Lennon
I will
said.
say, cancer is a fucking bitch. Because like you'll have the scenario where it's like cancer happens and then it goes away, but then it comes back. Cancer happens and it goes on and on and on, worse, and it ends with them dying, which is fucking horrible. You'll have it going and coming back. Like, just diseases are terrible. I think I had my parents had cancer like within a year of each other, and they're fine now. But like, my mom is the sort of person who goes to the doctor all of the time, whereas my dad is the sort of person who's like still has his radiation transplant in him and hasn't gotten it taken out. You were like, "Are you gonna go? You're supposed to go a couple of years ago. You gotta kind of handle that." So you have like that roller coaster, but it's like, until you actually have to deal with someone in your life that you care about dealing with these things, like, you actually don't realize the scope of how horrible it is. Yeah. And there's like, it's always horrible on different levels. Like, my sister was pregnant during all of that, and so like, my mom didn't want anyone to know, so she couldn't hold the baby when it was born because she had like radiation in her system, and it can like, I'm being really insensitive now, but it can like Chernobyl the baby. So you gotta like stay away, you know? Like, you can't touch a baby, you can't hold a baby, like all radioactive shit. It's like all those levels are just crazy. And then, of course, like when I think of Ashley, right? So you got cancer in the spectrum here, right? Then there's like a gazillion other diseases and horrible things that can happen to the people that you care about. Sorry, I'm being really emotional and existential lately. I think it's all that Harry Potter talk, man. Yep. Y'all got me fucked up.
Leviosa. Let's just...
Leviosa. Tati?
Leviosa.
Saw.
Oh, I would say that had enough time to think. I think my biggest regret would be that it took me so long to realize that my anxiety, depression affected my life a lot more than I thought it did. So you kind of go through life, you know, you have this, and I was diagnosed at 15. And they wanted to put me on prescriptions, and I was very against that because I didn't want to kind of stay tied down with like needing something to feel normal. Yeah. So I kind of just like, you know, didn't do it. I took it for like a week, and then I just didn't. And then I stopped seeing a therapist, and I said I was just going to do it on my own because I felt like, you know, I was 15. I felt like no adult. I couldn't trust any adult. So, yeah.
Do you feel like there was also like a cultural level in there? I didn't want to interrupt you, but like, do you think that? Because I feel like school tried to give me drugs too. And I was like, I tried to tell my mom, my family about it, and they're like, we don't do that. I don't know if like that's like a thing for you too.
I didn't have the support of my family to actually even have that kind of conversation with, because they didn't understand mental health enough to really have an opinion on it, to know whether or not I should take it. And I lived my life like, you know, like anybody else. And I really thought that the things that triggered my anxiety and depression, I thought that was normal. I thought everyone dealt with that kind of stuff. And you know how you said, Rebecca, how you forgive yourself so quickly? Mine is exactly the opposite. And so when you said that, I was thinking like, oh my gosh, if you could only see the other side of the coin, because it's not funny there. I really wish I could forgive myself.
I don't want to see the other side of that.
No, I just say because I wish I could. I wish I could forgive myself. And you know, honestly, full disclosure, I don't know if you want to leave this in. I am taking medication for it now. I take Zoloft, and I am
tons of
what
people
you
take
said.
meds, so it's not even a weird thing. You know that.
I mean, I have no problem with it.
Well, whatever you're comfortable with, obviously.
Yeah, and I just want to say that now I feel like you said you were, where it's this different thing where I can forgive myself so quickly and forget about an issue that would probably spiral in my head for hours or days until I did something to fix it, because that's how it felt to me. It's different
to me.
Oh, it
and
is.
I had
That's all
that
it was.
severe problem
To the point that I would make a joke to friends that I thought, like, I knew them as friends, and I would spiral by myself after texting a joke because I thought that it might have been taken inappropriately. And then I think that they don't like me anymore. And I go through this kind of like things where it was just that.
A lot of people go through that with friends, though, especially with text messages or anything that's like virtual.
Taking out of context.
It was just happening all the time. You know, anything that I did, anything that I said,
Well, maybe
something that
you're basically explaining a blackout drunk moment, which that's how I feel. It's like, even if I just fall asleep on the couch, I'm like, what did I do?
Yeah.
What did I say? Was I mean? Like, my number one thing that I say when I'm like recovering from a hangover is like, was I mean to anybody? Did I do something horrible? Did I step on someone's coat while I was trying to dance on the stripper pole? That was the college one. But
I will say that COVID fixed that all for me though, because when COVID happened, when COVID happened, I lost my job, and it was really ugly how I lost it, and it kind of made me go through a bit of a mental break, and I ended up seeking mental health, help, and everything. Through therapy and medication, I was able to find a better place than I was when I started, even before the problem.
That's amazing.
So, I will say to anyone that, it takes work, and it's not for everyone, and I think you have to be in the right space to want the help in order for it to work for you. And thank God that I did, because then I realized that, like, I went back into creative writing and into my art and into things that I was never doing as an adult because I grew out of it. And then I realized I wanted to do something that made me happy. And it took me not having a job and being by myself to realize, let me do something like drawing, because that used to make me happy as a kid. And to tell you the truth, I'm happier than I've ever been because I'm doing things like the podcast, I'm doing things like my art and writing, and I'm able to express myself. So thanks, everybody.
Standing ovation.
Can I just say that I'm with you on the writing?
Damn.
I love it.
We're back in business.
When did you write, Ashley?
I actually have a book published. In college, I wrote a novel. It's not available
novel? That
anymore.
sounds great.
Oh, I don't know what smut is, but I wrote a book. It's basically like people with power saving the world before bedtime, also trying to find a sense of normalcy at the same time. And
I do recall a reference.
I remember.
Before.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember you saying that.
Published. I thought you were writing that one.
No, so that one is published, but my publisher went under because they were laundering money. So I figured I'd put together
the next book.
Next book, new content. Like I want to find a new publisher and kind of get the ball rolling and.
Oh, I thought that was going to be like the next idea for your next book was like talking about how the publisher was laundering money.
I would say that in the opposite of my regrets, Ashley has now inspired me to write an erotic novel.
Ooh.
Ernie Madoff goes wild.
And she froze again.
Okay.
Ernie Madoff goes wild.
That's the worst face. The worst face.
Faces that she's been freezing in have been
I really don't appreciate it.
Very appropriate. Oh, it's gone now.
Wait. Did I get it? I think I got it.
Oh no! I'm gonna have to let her back in. Oh, there you go. Now I'm just gonna wait for her to come back in. There she is.
She's back. Frozen. You're back.
You're back.
Look, wait, did you show her her face?
Show her the face.
Show her face.
And her answer is now revised to being frozen in that face.
One of the other things
that is her biggest regret.
I will never forgive you.
She was making.
I don't have to put it anywhere. It's just
me and my sixth gen.
You could put that as a promo for this episode.
Yeah, right.
Oh.
Along with Tati's, like,
you're now Darius. You're no longer the sorting hat. You're now the Hogrid.
I was gonna say, turning to Hogrid. Why don't you close us out on these questions?
Oh man, that it's weird. I was thinking about it. I was like, oh, I just want to get like real raw answers from people and shit.
Oh, you got some raw
It's a lot deeper than I thought.
I think you had all of us crying.
Fuck.
Yeah,
I
that
have-
was way deeper than I thought.
Like every single day of my life is just regret. It's like there's the selfish regret of like I should have. The actress, I don't know how many of you have seen like Hamilton, the original cast and whatnot.
Yeah.
No.
So my friend Renee Elise Goldsberry, we used to work together on One Life to Live.
Oh.
And like we used to like I mean we don't really talk like on a regular basis, but like she was a pretty good friend back in the day, and she told me she's like never pick love over career in your 20s. I forget exactly how she put it. So I was with a woman and picked her over moving to LA when I was in my 20s, which could have completely changed my trajectory in life and blah blah blah. So where I feel like I'm at, but then stills never would have happened, and then this never would have happened as well. Like the snowball effect, everything would be different or not. I don't know.
We would not know each other.
Exactly. So like I regret that on a regular basis just because I constantly see people who I've worked with well beyond where I'm at in their creative career. So that's like the selfish regret. And then when like I think about it, the regrets that are real are like, you know, I had like 4 cats when I was in my 20s just because I didn't mean to end up with 4 cats. I meant to have 1 I ended up with 4 because
I had 3 at some point.
Oh, okay, good. So we're on the same boat.
Oh my god, so I'm not crazy if I want more.
You're crazy. You just, you know.
I got my second one. He was like 3 weeks old during quarantine. I'm like, oh, that's so cute. And he just became a demon. He chewed through all the wires, so I'd had to lock him out.
Oh, we've seen him.
Chewed through my computer wires.
One of my cats, I literally named her Evil because at some point I was shifting around my room and there was this mirror that was attached to my dresser and I had to detach the 2 of them in order to move it around. So I had it leaned up against something really nicely. And she just came up, stared me dead in the eyes, rubbed up against it, and I literally slowly just watched the mirror go.
You could have saved
Cats.
it. You should use your flash.
She was frozen.
I was on the other side of
She
the
was
room.
frozen.
So by the time I would have had to like throw myself over
And then you would have been cut in the glass.
I don't mean to interrupt Shayne's answer, but you guys made me think of like the one time I had a cat. I called her Kitty, by the way, because I love Hello Kitty, and so whenever I came into the room, I'd be like, Hello Kitty. Anyways, she brought a live pigeon into my room.
Oh, she presented it as a gift for
Because of her
approval.
love.
That's a gift.
That's a gift.
It wasn't a dead gift. It was very
That's
much
the
alive,
best gift they
flapping
can give.
everywhere, all over my room. I was like scared
Oh
shitless.
my god, that's great.
The amount of
It's
animals.
not great. It's horrible.
My ex's sister, I was helping her make her bed at some
Brothers,
point.
cousins, friends,
Yeah, something like that.
was
And
removed.
she didn't sleep on one side of the bed, and I guess she didn't realize that her cat had brought her a present and left it in the bed. So it was a dead mouse that had bled out on one side of the bed. And
That's
I was
hot.
literally like, you gotta wrap this up. And she just looked at me like, what? I was like, no, you don't want to see this. She's like, oh my God. I was like, well, it's supposed to be.
Oh, the cat loves her so much.
Now you
That's
made me
a
think
gift
of a
for
really
approval.
bad mouse story too. My grandmother, she's really
Mousetrap?
crazy. She's really crazy. She caught a mouse in a mousetrap, and I was playing
I
outside
thought
with
she
a little
said
kid
it.
neighbor.
I thought you were
Oh,
gonna
did
say
she
in
drown
her
it?
mouth.
I thought you were
no.
gonna say she
How
put it
did
in her
it-
mouth as well.
What?
I didn't think
My
that.
grandmother's,
I
my
didn't
grandmother's
think
crazy,
that.
but not that crazy.
You
But
said
she
crazy.
did have it. He did have it in a plastic bag that was clear, and she ran out and slammed it against a tree trunk in front of me and my friend, and you saw it like explode. Anyways,
There's a lot of
I digress.
animal horribleness in
Little
this.
swift justice. I know it's wrong, but I watched my uncle take one that was on a glue trap, and he left it in a trash can. It was raining outside. The trash can was full of water, and so he had like upside down. It was like just drowning for a really long time, and I didn't realize what was going on until it was too late. And I didn't know what the best solution was there. It's like, do you try to rip its skin off so that it's not glued onto the trap anymore? Just let it drown so it doesn't have to suffer. Do you bash
This is why
it?
I don't kill mice to this day because of my grandmother. I get those cages that you
I just
can like
have
it
cats.
just trap them, and then you like take them to the park and you like let
The
them out.
cats torture them and chew on them and slobber on them and mummify them and do whatever they gotta do. Cats are okay because that's nature. That's what's supposed to happen. I don't need to do all that peanut butter trap bullshit.
I thought you were gonna say.
Are we having a bathroom break? right now?
No, not yet. We're almost done.
Okay.
Wait, it's Shane's
So-
turn to answer.
Well, Shane, let Shane finish his answer.
There was that, but then when I really dig deep, it's like the things that keep me awake at night, which are often and recurring, are all the regrets. Like when I had 4 cats, like I had Mister, who I think probably Darius and Tati are the only ones who probably met Mister in my old apartment. And originally he was shithead because he was a shithead. And he used to attack my other cat, Millie, all the time. So I ended up having to segregate Millie in a bedroom by herself. And she spent a few years in that bedroom pretty much by herself for years. I'm like,
What?
that's like, because I didn't know how to, I didn't know how to integrate them. There were 4 cats. I didn't know how to like stop him from attacking her. So I thought the better solution was her to be alone.
Keep her by
And like,
herself.
she was alone for so long. And like, I just wish I knew how to integrate them. And
Did you give her more love because she was by herself?
I tried to,
Did you
but
give her alone
there was like
time?
nothing in that room, so I always was in the other room with the other cats and like that. And I just wish,
No,
I wish I knew
Shane.
more. I wish I knew more what to do. I mean, they're all 4 of my original cats are dead. They were like,
You're
I mean,
not that old.
she lived to be 10. Millie lived to be 10, and she ended up getting lung cancer. Her twin sister Jemima lived to be 14. She just died of old age. Mister lived to be 16 and a half. He died of old age. And Jubilee, who had opposable thumb, she was a Hemingway cat, lived to be 17. She died of old age. And I had them from 2000 to like
I can't
just
handle this. I
2019.
have to go to the bathroom because this is making me so sad.
come back for the end. And
You have to cry out your pants.
well, I'll be quick. So I think there's
I'll be
that.
quick.
I've usually
Ashley?
had my heart broken, and I've broken one person's heart my whole life, and I just feel infinitely bad about that, and I ended up ruining friendships because I was friends with her sister first, and we ended up getting together, and it didn't work out, and mistakes were made, and I just feel bad because I broke her heart, and I ruined a friendship because of it. But really, it's my mother at the end. I mean, really my sister and my mother, because like, one of my sisters. My father's family being in Oklahoma in 2016 with the election, things were very divisive, and internet tough guy over here, me. We got into it a lot with some of my family members online to the point where we were very mature and just defriended each other as a result of it. And so I was very distant from a lot of my extended family and my half brothers and sisters. And then in 2018, my younger sister, I'm the oldest of 9 that we know about, was killed by her husband. And I wasn't close to her. And I could have been. And I sometimes don't know if the emotions I feel are genuine or not. I feel very closed off. And that hit me worse than my own mother's death. I don't know why. I just know maybe it was the missed opportunity. Maybe it was the fact that it was a cold blood gun to the head. And then he tried to kill my niece, who thankfully she survived. But it wrecked me, and just knowing I could have, like, what if we were closer? What if I could have seen a red flag?
You can't think about what ifs. You can't think about if you would have been there. The whole point is that now you use that experience to take with you in the next situation, and you know better now. You know that to be closer to the people that you care about, and to maintain those relationships.
And you're right.
Think of it's not an ideal situation, but at the end of the day, you have to use the bad things to fuel the good that you do in the world.
You're right. And I would tell you that, or anyone that. But as we all know, it's hard to take our own advice.
It's hard to take your own advice. Absolutely.
And so there's that regret, and then just the fact that, and I know this is, and I've reasoned this one to myself, when my mother was sick, I was a teenager into my early 20s, and we had no money and no resources and very little to help us. And I'm an angsty teenager asshole who's just angry at the world, and she's sick beyond my comprehension, and I had to be the adult of the house. And at 15, 16, 17, you're not prepared to be the adult of the house.
Of course.
But it led us to fight so much. And at the end of the day, we loved each other. I held her hand as she died. But I just wish I could have been better for her. You know, I hear your regrets, Ashley. And I know how you're more of what I wish I was like then. You're towards your mother, at least in the few years I've known you, what I wish I could have been in my teen years to my mother. And, you know, it's part of, you know, probably beyond the Mets and softball, what I really gravitated towards you for, because I know you know the struggle of an ill mother, you know?
Yeah.
And granted, you're also a lot older than I was then, but, like, at the same time, it's just like, why couldn't I have just been better towards her? Why couldn't I have been closer to my sister? And
it's not every day's a cakewalk, and like you see how I am with her now, but like back in the day, I probably did some of the same things. I would come home very late because I would never want to be home, but I'd be at school or doing like some active activity after school, and she'd be there just waiting for me to come home every single time. And you know, it's tough to think about and to talk about like what you should have done then.
yeah.
And I mean, there's
Rebecca's
always
frozen
those days,
again, though. By the way,
Yeah, she is.
Rebecca's frozen again. Again.
Yeah.
But it's a good picture, kind of.
That was a much better.
I didn't get a picture of that one.
Well, that wasn't so
That
bad.
was actually the good one. That was the good one.
I know.
Oh, man.
Alright, so I know we're like seriously over time, but I think we all need a slight cheering up.
Wait for Rebecca. There we are. She's back. She's back.
Fuck. What
Oh, no.
Oh, you're Bruce.
Okay, she's back.
Okay, no, there you go. So I was saying, since you know we all kind of got a little deep here, we should probably take like a few minutes just to kind of like get us a little up before we go to bed.
Can we say what's the one thing that makes us the happiest?
The show.
That might make me cry too.
Knowing that death is coming soon.
Oh, wow.
What makes me happiest is Tati was very audible this week.
Yeah.
Oh.
I told you it has to be like right here.
No,
right
you
here.
were good even like a little bit
What
away. Like
makes
last
me
week you were like,
It's watching Tati put like to get that makes me happy. All right.
This is spiraled out of control in the last 2 seconds. What the hell's going on?
Absolutely. Okay, so do you guys?
Did any of you hear that?
What?
Yes, I heard.
You heard that crash, right? And I don't know
Yes,
where
I
it
did.
was.
I didn't know it was from you.
Oh, the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles plate fell.
Oh, you picked that up right now.
Okay.
Hannah acting a fool? Is she acting?
No, she's like
You know,
asleep
the
Don't
somewhere.
disrespect it.
I was gonna see if Hannah texted me. She's always like, "Let me out. I want to live with you. I like
No,
you better.
Ashley texted
Please,
us.
baby, please."
Oh yeah, those were the
You trying to steal my pussy?
Damn.
Oh, it's too much light.
Yeah,
No one can see it.
I can't see it. It's too bright.
No, I sent this to the group.
Lower
Yeah.
the brightness. Oh, wait. Let me see.
Check your phones.
All
Let
right,
me
so
see.
while you're
I think you have to
checking
be
your
a
phone-
video group.
What?
Yeah, because so much of this is visual. Darius showing us his bad Barbie text messages and that.
What?
No, don't lie.
Do we want to try to do it maybe next week's segment?
Oh, my goodness. Oh, my goodness.
Yeah, oh my goodness.
Oh, my goodness. Long bottom.
Are you just catching up?
Long front, too. Long bottom.
Medium.
Darius.
I mean, we
How
don't
you
know.
doing?
Okay.
I'm great. How are you?
I'm good. I think we should start sending nude photos of women to the group.
We talked about long bottom. You guys talked about bod
Medium.
body.
Yeah, bod
No,
body.
we didn't talk about
Body
Bhabie.
or Bhabie?
Bobby.
I don't know how to say it.
Is it bad baby? Is it supposed to be bad baby?
It's supposed to be bad baby, but I will.
Sure, it's not.
After this
Barbie.
moment, I will never say that again.
I thought it was
Barbie.
Bobby, like Barbie.
Bobby.
Bobby.
Maybe next
No,
week
no,
we'll
it's
find
with an
out
accent.
how to pronounce
It's like
Bod
quit on the
Baba.
Bobby.
Bhabie.
Maybe next week they don't come up with questions that don't make
not
all
a
this.
knife.
Well, wait, who's gonna ask the questions next week?
It's a knife.
I elect Tatiana.
Huh?
Tati, you come up with the questions for next week.
Oh, okay. We'll see
That's
where this
another
goes.
way of saying no.
We'll
Okay,
see where this goes.
Rebecca, you
Wait,
come
how
up with the
many-
questions.
Not even
How many am I supposed to come up with?
Just
Two.
2. I would make them fun so that we can also circle back to the fans.
Like,
Tater, we'll work
And so that we're
together.
not all
We'll
at the
work
end of it,
together.
like, ready.
What is your favorite
Ourselves.
type of potato?
Would you like
Have
your
you ever
potatoes
thrown up
crispy?
Just
Or-
Idaho, I don't
Golden.
want it. Just saying.
That's my question. It's like, have you thrown up before? On a bus?
Have you
Okay.
ever shit, pissed, and vomited simultaneously?
If you could
Is it
wear
kind
a
of- I
diaper,
don't remember.
where would you wear it?
Oh,
Ooh, if you could wear a diaper, what color would it be and would you bedazzle it?
It'd
that's
be
a
brown
yes.
so that I.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Brown.
Duh.
Doo-doo
There's
brown.
only one right answer.
Doo-doo brown. Doo-doo brown, so that no one ever knows the
Doo-doo
difference.
brown.
Doo-doo brown.
Guys.
Doo-doo brown.
Anyone
Okay.
want to change that first
you
question
crazy?
to doo-doo brown?
Doo-doo
What
brown.
color would you be? I'd be doo-doo brown.
oh,
I
that
don't
was
think
a
so.
wasted opportunity. I should have said that. Doo-doo.
You will be one day though. You're working your way to that color.
We're all
And
gonna be
you're just
old
gonna be like
and we're all
rose
gonna shit our
gold,
pants.
and then eventually bronze, and then doo-doo brown.
That's like in between tan mom and then tan. It's doo-doo.
You're like a brand new penny, a kind of old penny, and that dirty ass penny in the sewer.
That's dirty.
And on that note,
Then
thank you
be
for
the-
watching.
Stepping on that body.
Maybe next week we'll actually have some more interesting things to say.
Maybe next week I'll get all my work done before the week is over.
Here we go.
Maybe next week we won't have so much homework to do.
Maybe next week.
Maybe next week you all motherfuckers will appreciate the fact that you said send videos and I sent videos.
Maybe.
Oh yeah, maybe next week we'll talk about the Demi Lovato video that nobody watched.
Oh,
Right
wait,
there.
I actually watched it. I thought
Rebecca, how did you know I didn't watch
I
it?
don't like it, and I didn't watch it. I didn't watch it, and I already don't like it, even though she's a nice person. I
Rebecca
don't want
just
to watch
sees right
it.
through
Dun
you.
dun
She knows
dun.
you.
Maybe next
I know
week
you.
I'll go around insulting celebrities who have messages in their songs.
that's happening next week, guys. That's happening next week.
I didn't insult her. I'm just saying. I already can tell it's not gonna be the song for me, because I'm never gonna quit drugs, rock and roll, or alcohol. That's a ride or die
Alright.
sort of situation.
Maybe-
Just kidding. Don't tell my job. It was a joke. I was just kidding.
Maybe
Drugs are
next week
wrong.
we won't
They are.
cry.
Don't cry. Don't cry
I was
the
gonna say,
egg.
oh, Shane.
Maybe
when
next
is
week we won't
everybody-
cry.
I feel like I'm just hearing everybody. Okay,
Yeah.
everybody
Maybe
get out my
next week
head.
we won't
Or
cry.
let me get out your
Maybe.
heads.
Maybe next week Darius won't be in our heads.
We like
'Cause I was gonna say
legit.
the same thing.
All of us cried this episode. That was like
It's deep.
that was like next level. And like every time, like I was like kind of crying. I was like, I'm not even laughing at myself. And then all of you were crying. I wasn't laughing at you. I was like sad. I was like, ew, is this real friendship? Are these
Emotions?
You
I
always
don't
have
know.
emotions. So?
All right, all
I was
right,
just
all right.
freaking
Bye,
out.
bye, everybody. Bye,
Bye.
bye. Everyone say bye.